Modern humans, Homo sapiens, emerged around 300,000 years ago, spreading from Africa into Eurasia and eventually reaching every continent. The development of language, symbolic thought, and agriculture during the Holocene transformed human societies, leading to the rise of civilizations. However, this rapid expansion has also led to profound ecological consequences: deforestation, habitat destruction, and climate change, raising questions about humanity's long-term impact on Earth's biodiversity. Yet, the lessons of Earth's deep past remain clear. Life is both fragile and resilient. The cycles of extinction and recovery, biodiversity booms, and climate shifts have shaped a planet where life continually finds ways to persist. As we stand at a turning point in the Anthropocene, the choices we make now will determine whether Earth's next chapter is one of renewal or further loss. Earth's ancient story continues, a breathtaking narrative of endless transformation driven by geological forces, climate shifts, and the resilience of life itself. Across billions of years, this planet has been both a cradle and a crucible, witnessing the rise and fall of entire lineages, the fragmentation of supercontinents, and the cycles of extinction and rebirth that have defined its evolutionary arc. The fossil record, etched into the layers of ancient rock, serves as a reminder of these vast epochs where species adapted, thrived, and ultimately gave way to new forms of life. The great cycles of extinction and renewal have repeatedly reshaped the biosphere, with each event leaving behind a dramatically altered world. While mass extinctions often bring devastation in their wake, they have also acted as catalysts for evolutionary innovation, wiping out dominant groups and paving the way for the emergence of entirely new life forms. In the aftermath of every catastrophe, life has proven its ability to persist, adapt, and diversify once again, writing new chapters in the epic of Earth's history. The Great Permian Extinction and the rise of the dinosaurs. The Permian-Triassic extinction event, also known as the Great Dying, occurred around 252 million years ago and remains the most severe extinction in Earth's history, triggered by the immense volcanic eruptions of the Siberian Traps. This global catastrophe unleashed catastrophic climate disruptions, including extreme greenhouse warming, ocean acidification, and anoxic, oxygen-depleted seas. More than 90% of marine species and 70% of terrestrial species vanished, leaving entire ecosystems in collapse. The collapse of coral reef systems, which had thrived in the warm Paleozoic seas, marked a profound loss of biodiversity. Trilobites, which had survived multiple extinctions since the Cambrian, finally disappeared. Large terrestrial synapsids, like Dimetrodon and Inostrancevia, also vanished. Yet, from this ecological devastation, a new lineage began to emerge: archosaurs, the ancestors of both crocodiles and dinosaurs. The Triassic period that followed was a time of evolutionary recovery and biological experimentation. Small, agile reptiles like Coelophysis and Herrerasaurus began to dominate terrestrial ecosystems, while early crocodilomorphs thrived in aquatic environments. The first true dinosaurs, relatively modest in size compared to their Jurassic successors, appeared during this period, already displaying the diversity and form that would define their dominance in the next era. The Jurassic dinosaurs at their peak. By the Jurassic period, approximately 201 million years ago, dinosaurs had risen to dominance, evolving into a vast array of specialized forms that occupied every available ecological niche. The supercontinent Pangaea was beginning to fragment, creating shallow seas and lush floodplains where massive plant-eating dinosaurs thrived. The gigantic sauropods, including Brachiosaurus, Apatosaurus, and Diplodocus, reached sizes never before seen on land, some stretching over 100 feet in length and weighing as much as 80 tons. Predatory theropods also reached impressive diversity during this period. Allosaurus, with its serrated teeth and powerful jaws, was among the apex predators of the late Jurassic, while the smaller, feathered Compsognathus offered a glimpse of the evolutionary transition toward modern birds. The seas were equally diverse. Marine reptiles like the dolphin-shaped ichthyosaurs, the long-necked plesiosaurs, and the massive pliosaurs filled the oceans, while ammonites and belemnites thrived as dominant invertebrate groups. Coral reefs, built by extinct rudis rather than modern corals, provided shelter for a wide variety of fish and invertebrates. Yet, the Jurassic was not just the age of the dinosaurs, it was also a critical period for evolutionary transitions in flight. Pterosaurs, such as Rhamphorhynchus and Pteranodon, soared above primeval landscapes, evolving into some of the largest flying creatures to ever exist. Meanwhile, Archaeopteryx, a feathered theropod discovered in Germany's Solnhofen limestone, revealed a critical link between non-avian dinosaurs and modern birds. The Cretaceous, innovation and catastrophe. The Cretaceous period, spanning from 145 to 66 million years ago, saw the continued evolution of dinosaurs alongside dramatic shifts in plant life. The emergence and spread of flowering plants, angiosperms, transformed terrestrial ecosystems, leading to new food sources and the rise of complex pollination strategies. Herbivorous dinosaurs like Triceratops, Iguanodon, and the duck-billed Edmontosaurus adapted specialized feeding strategies to exploit this botanical revolution. Predatory dinosaurs also reached new heights of diversity. Tyrannosaurus rex, one of the most famous apex predators in history, evolved during the late Cretaceous, possessing an immense skull with bone-crushing bite force. Meanwhile, the semi-aquatic Spinosaurus developed adaptations for a piscivorous, fish-eating lifestyle, with elongated jaws and a distinctive sail on its back. Marine ecosystems remained equally vibrant, with massive mosasaurs like Mosasaurus dominating the seas, while giant sea turtles and plesiosaurs persisted in warm, shallow waters. Ammonites continued to flourish as the primary molluscan group, evolving intricate spiral shells and complex feeding structures. However, the Cretaceous period was destined to end in a cataclysm. The Chicxulub asteroid impact, striking near the Yucatan Peninsula, unleashed a chain reaction of global disasters. The impact triggered shockwaves, tsunamis, and global wildfires, while the atmospheric debris blocked sunlight, disrupting photosynthesis and collapsing food chains. The loss of primary producers led to the extinction of nearly all large vertebrates, including the non-avian dinosaurs, ammonites, and marine reptiles. The Cenozoic era. Mammals rise and flourish in the aftermath of the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction. The Cenozoic era began, marking the dawn of the age of mammals. Without the dominant dinosaurs, mammals rapidly diversified into new ecological roles. The early Paleocene saw the rise of small, generalized mammals like Protungulatum, which began to explore arboreal niches and ground-level feeding strategies. By the Eocene epoch, roughly 56 million years ago, mammals had expanded into a diverse range of forms, from massive herbivores like Uintatherium to the first fully aquatic whales like Basilosaurus. The climate was warm and tropical, with lush rainforests extending as far as the poles. However, the Eocene-Oligocene transition, marked by the cooling and expansion of Antarctic ice sheets, shifted Earth toward a cooler, drier climate. This shift in climate during the Oligocene led to the spread of grasslands and the rise of grazing mammals. Horses, antelope, and elephants adapted to these new habitats, evolving high-crowned teeth for processing tough grasses. Meanwhile, carnivores like Hyaenodon and Amphibian adapted as apex predators in these open environments. The Miocene epoch, around 23 million years ago, continued this trend with the expansion of large-bodied herbivores like Dinotherium and the evolution of primates such as Proconsul, an early ancestor of apes and humans. The cooling climate of the Pliocene further favored grassland expansion, setting the stage for the emergence of the genus Homo. The Ice Ages and the dawn of modern humans. The Pleistocene epoch, commonly known as the Ice Age, began around 2.6 million years ago and was characterized by repeated glaciations driven by shifts in Earth's orbit and axial tilt, Milankovitch cycles. Massive ice sheets advanced and retreated, reshaping landscapes and driving megafaunal evolution. Woolly mammoths, saber-toothed cats like Smilodon, and giant ground sloths adapted to the cold steppe environments, while early humans developed increasingly complex tools and hunting strategies. Modern humans, Homo sapiens, emerged during this period, spreading from Africa into Europe, Asia, and eventually the Americas. By the end of the Pleistocene, humans had become the dominant species, developing agriculture, constructing permanent settlements, and altering the planet's ecosystems on a scale never before seen. Earth's story continues. Earth's story is still being written, shaped by the same forces that have governed its past. The tectonic shifts, climate cycles, and evolutionary pressures that define the prehistoric world continue today. Understanding this deep history reminds us not only of life's resilience, but of the fragile balance that sustains biodiversity on our ever-changing planet. Certainly. Continuing the narrative seamlessly, without subtitles, Earth's prehistoric narrative continues as a breathtaking testament to the ancient cycles of creation, collapse, and renewal that have shaped life for billions of years. It is a story of persistence, where even in the aftermath of catastrophic extinctions, life has found ways to adapt, diversify, and flourish anew. The rhythms of extinction and rebirth, driven by the shifting continents, changing climates, and cosmic collisions, have repeatedly reshaped the biosphere and driven evolution forward. From the microscopic life forms of the Archean to the vast, complex ecosystems of the Mesozoic and beyond, this ancient saga continues to reveal the profound interconnectedness between geology and biology. The fossil record tells a story of constant change, written into the very rocks that form Earth's crust. The massive upheavals of extinction events like the Great Dying at the end of the Permian, the Triassic-Jurassic extinction, and the infamous Chicxulub impact have all left scars on the planet, evident in layers of iridium, fossilized ash, and sudden shifts in biodiversity. Yet life has always emerged from these upheavals, altered but resilient, shaped by the relentless pressures of natural selection. The rise of the dinosaurs in the Triassic and their dominance through the Jurassic and Cretaceous showcases evolution's capacity for innovation. From the small, nimble ancestors of Coelophysis to the titanic Argentinosaurus, dinosaurs adapted to a changing world, evolving specialized forms to thrive in diverse environments. Some, like the colossal sauropods, grew to unprecedented sizes, exploiting a low-browsing, herbivorous niche that allowed them to dominate vast floodplains and fern prairies. Others, like Velociraptor and Deinonychus, evolved into agile hunters with specialized claws and keen intelligence, suggesting complex behaviors that blurred the line between reptiles and modern birds. The oceans of the Mesozoic teemed with equally impressive biodiversity. Ichthyosaurs, with their streamlined bodies and massive eyes adapted for deep-sea hunting, were the apex predators of early Jurassic seas. Plesiosaurs, with their long necks and flipper-driven swimming, occupied a separate ecological role, hunting prey in shallow coastal regions. Ammonites, the spiral-shelled cephalopods, flourished as primary prey species, evolving intricate shell designs and defensive strategies to survive the threats of marine reptiles. Coral reefs, built not by modern corals but by ancient bivalves known as rudists, supported diverse ecosystems that mirrored the complexity of modern reef systems. The Cretaceous period marked both the zenith of dinosaur diversity and the final chapter of their dominance. Flowering plants, angiosperms, spread rapidly across the continents, transforming the structure of terrestrial ecosystems. This botanical revolution led to the co-evolution of herbivores like Triceratops and Parasaurolophus, which developed specialized dental structures to process the tougher vegetation. Predators adapted in response. Tyrannosaurus rex emerged as one of the largest terrestrial carnivores in history, with massive jaws capable of crushing bone, while Spinosaurus evolved unique adaptations for a semi-aquatic lifestyle, its elongated skull and conical teeth ideal for catching fish in Cretaceous river systems. The end of the Cretaceous was sudden and catastrophic, forever altering the course of life on Earth. The Chicxulub asteroid, striking near what is now the Yucatan Peninsula, unleashed an apocalyptic cascade of events. The initial impact generated shockwaves equivalent to billions of atomic bombs, followed by massive wildfires, tsunamis, and a prolonged global winter caused by atmospheric debris blocking sunlight. Photosynthesis ceased, food chains collapsed, and 3/4 of all species vanished, including the non-avian dinosaurs, ammonites, and most marine reptiles. Yet some life endured. Avian dinosaurs, birds, managed to survive, as did small, burrowing mammals, along with various reptiles and fish species. From this devastation, a new era began. The Cenozoic era, often referred to as the Age of Mammals, saw the rapid diversification of mammals in the absence of the dinosaurs. Freed from the constraints imposed by the towering reptilian giants, mammals expanded into an extraordinary array of forms and ecological roles. The early Paleocene was a time of modest beginnings, with small, generalized mammals like Protungulatum and Purgatorius filling the niches left vacant by smaller non-avian dinosaurs. Yet, as ecosystems stabilized, the evolutionary explosion that followed was extraordinary. By the Eocene, mammals had diversified into massive herbivores like Uintatherium, the earliest forms of whales like Basilosaurus, and even early primates like Notharctus, which explored the canopies of lush tropical forests. The cooling climate of the Oligocene marked a pivotal shift in Earth's history. The formation of the Antarctic ice sheet and the opening of the Drake Passage between South America and Antarctica created powerful ocean currents that dramatically altered global weather patterns. Tropical forests receded, giving way to grasslands and open woodlands that favored the evolution of grazing mammals. Early horses like Mesohippus, rhinoceroses, and the massive, trunked Dinotherium roamed these expanding savannas, while carnivores like Hyaenodon and Amphibian evolved as apex predators suited for the open landscapes. The Miocene epoch, beginning around 23 million years ago, saw the continued expansion of grasslands and the evolution of some of the largest land mammals ever to exist. Paraceratherium, a hornless rhinoceros towering over 16 feet tall, browsed on high vegetation in a world where vast herds of grazing animals spread across the plains. Predators like the saber-toothed cat Macaridus and the bear dog Amphibian thrived in this period of abundant megafauna. The Pliocene brought the next major evolutionary milestone, the emergence of the genus Homo. The cooling climate and continued grassland expansion created selective pressures favoring bipedal locomotion, freeing the hands for tool use and shaping the evolutionary path toward modern humans. Australopithecus afarensis, famously represented by the fossil Lucy, exemplifies this pivotal transition. Over the following millions of years, species like Homo habilis, Homo erectus, and eventually Homo sapiens emerged, developing increasingly complex tools, symbolic thought, and cultural practices. The Pleistocene epoch, often referred to as the Ice Age, saw Earth enter a cycle of repeated glaciations. Massive ice sheets advanced and retreated, sculpting modern landscapes and giving rise to megafaunal species adapted to harsh climates. Woolly mammoths, giant ground sloths, and saber-toothed cats thrived during these periods, while early humans, including the Neanderthals, adapted through toolmaking, clothing, and fire use. As the last glaciers retreated around 11,700 years ago, the Holocene epoch began, ushering in a period of climatic stability that allowed human civilization to flourish. The development of agriculture, the rise of permanent settlements, and the construction of monumental architecture marked the beginning of the Anthropocene, a proposed epoch defined by human influence on the planet's ecosystems and climate. Earth's deep history is not merely a record of ancient life, but a profound narrative of adaptation, loss, and survival. It teaches us that extinction is both a natural part of life cycles and a stark warning of the consequences of unchecked environmental change. The fossil record reveals the fragility of ecosystems in the face of rapid disruptions, while also highlighting life's extraordinary ability to recover, given time. Yet, as humanity continues to alter the planet's atmosphere, oceans, and biodiversity at an unprecedented pace, the lessons of Earth's deep past become ever more vital. Mass extinctions have always reshaped the biosphere, but the current biodiversity crisis is unique in that it is driven not by natural forces, but by the actions of a single species, Homo sapiens. Earth's prehistoric story reminds us not only of life's resilience but of our responsibility as stewards of this ancient, living world. Modern humans, Homo sapiens, emerged around 300,000 years ago, spreading from Africa into Eurasia and eventually reaching every continent. The development of language, symbolic thought, and agriculture during the Holocene transformed human societies, leading to the rise of civilizations. However, this rapid expansion has also led to profound ecological consequences: deforestation, habitat destruction, and climate change, raising questions about humanity's long-term impact on Earth's biodiversity. Yet, the lessons of Earth's deep past remain clear. Life is both fragile and resilient. The cycles of extinction and recovery, biodiversity booms, and climate shifts have shaped a planet where life continually finds ways to persist. As we stand at a turning point in the Anthropocene, the choices we make now will determine whether Earth's next chapter is one of renewal or further loss. Earth's ancient story continues, a breathtaking narrative of endless transformation driven by geological forces, climate shifts, and the resilience of life itself. Across billions of years, this planet has been both a cradle and a crucible, witnessing the rise and fall of entire lineages, the fragmentation of supercontinents, and the cycles of extinction and rebirth that have defined its evolutionary arc. The fossil record, etched into the layers of ancient rock, serves as a reminder of these vast epochs where species adapted, thrived, and ultimately gave way to new forms of life. The great cycles of extinction and renewal have repeatedly reshaped the biosphere, with each event leaving behind a dramatically altered world. While mass extinctions often bring devastation in their wake, they have also acted as catalysts for evolutionary innovation, wiping out dominant groups and paving the way for the emergence of entirely new life forms. In the aftermath of every catastrophe, life has proven its ability to persist, adapt, and diversify once again, writing new chapters in the epic of Earth's history. The Great Permian Extinction and the rise of the dinosaurs. The Permian-Triassic extinction event, also known as the Great Dying, occurred around 252 million years ago and remains the most severe extinction in Earth's history. Triggered by the immense volcanic eruptions of the Siberian Traps, this global catastrophe unleashed catastrophic climate disruptions, including extreme greenhouse warming, ocean acidification, and anoxic, oxygen-depleted seas. More than 90% of marine species and 70% of terrestrial species vanished, leaving entire ecosystems in collapse. The collapse of coral reef systems, which had thrived in the warm Paleozoic seas, marked a profound loss of biodiversity. Trilobites, which had survived multiple extinctions since the Cambrian, finally disappeared. Large terrestrial synapsids, like Dimetrodon and Inostrancevia, also vanished. Yet, from this ecological devastation, a new lineage began to emerge: archosaurs, the ancestors of both crocodiles and dinosaurs. The Triassic period that followed was a time of evolutionary recovery and biological experimentation. Small, agile reptiles like Coelophysis and Herrerasaurus began to dominate terrestrial ecosystems, while early crocodilomorphs thrived in aquatic environments. The first true dinosaurs, relatively modest in size compared to their Jurassic successors, appeared during this period, already displaying the diversity and form that would define their dominance in the next era. The Jurassic. Dinosaurs at their peak. By the Jurassic period, approximately 201 million years ago, dinosaurs had risen to dominance, evolving into a vast array of specialized forms that occupied every available ecological niche. The supercontinent Pangaea was beginning to fragment, creating shallow seas and lush floodplains where massive plant-eating dinosaurs thrived. The gigantic sauropods, including Brachiosaurus, Apatosaurus, and Diplodocus, reached sizes never before seen on land, some stretching over 100 feet in length and weighing as much as 80 tons. Predatory theropods also reached impressive diversity during this period. Allosaurus, with its serrated teeth and powerful jaws, was among the apex predators of the late Jurassic, while the smaller, feathered Compsognathus offered a glimpse of the evolutionary transition toward modern birds. The seas were equally diverse. Marine reptiles like the dolphin-shaped ichthyosaurs, the long-necked plesiosaurs, and the massive pliosaurs filled the oceans, while ammonites and belemnites thrived as dominant invertebrate groups. Coral reefs, built by extinct rudis rather than modern corals, provided shelter for a wide variety of fish and invertebrates. Yet, the Jurassic was not just the age of the dinosaurs, it was also a critical period for evolutionary transitions and flight. Pterosaurs, such as Rhamphorhynchus and Pteranodon, soared above primeval landscapes, evolving into some of the largest flying creatures to ever exist. Meanwhile, Archaeopteryx, a feathered theropod discovered in Germany's Solnhofen limestone, revealed a critical link between non-avian dinosaurs and modern birds. The Cretaceous. Innovation and catastrophe. The Cretaceous period, spanning from 145 to 66 million years ago, saw the continued evolution of dinosaurs alongside dramatic shifts in plant life. The emergence and spread of flowering plants, angiosperms, transformed terrestrial ecosystems, leading to new food sources and the rise of complex pollination strategies. Herbivorous dinosaurs like Triceratops, Iguanodon, and the duck-billed Edmontosaurus adapted specialized feeding strategies to exploit this botanical revolution. Predatory dinosaurs also reached new heights of diversity. Tyrannosaurus rex, one of the most famous apex predators in history, evolved during the late Cretaceous, possessing an immense skull with bone-crushing bite force. Meanwhile, the semi-aquatic Spinosaurus developed adaptations for a piscivorous, fish-eating lifestyle, with elongated jaws and a distinctive sail on its back. Marine ecosystems remained equally vibrant, with massive mosasaurs like Mosasaurus dominating the seas, while giant sea turtles and plesiosaurs persisted in warm, shallow waters. Ammonites continued to flourish as the primary molluscan group, evolving intricate spiral shells and complex feeding structures. However, the Cretaceous period was destined to end in a cataclysm. The Chicxulub asteroid impact, striking near the Yucatan Peninsula, unleashed a chain reaction of global disasters. The impact triggered shockwaves, tsunamis, and global wildfires, while the atmospheric debris blocked sunlight, disrupting photosynthesis and collapsing food chains. The loss of primary producers led to the extinction of nearly all large vertebrates, including the non-avian dinosaurs, ammonites, and marine reptiles. The Cenozoic era. Mammals rise and flourish in the aftermath of the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction. The Cenozoic era began, marking the dawn of the age of mammals. Without the dominant dinosaurs, mammals rapidly diversified into new ecological roles. The early Paleocene saw the rise of small, generalized mammals like Protungulatum, which began to explore arboreal niches and ground-level feeding strategies. By the Eocene epoch, roughly 56 million years ago, mammals had expanded into a diverse range of forms, from massive herbivores like Uintatherium to the first fully aquatic whales like Basilosaurus. The climate was warm and tropical, with lush rainforests extending as far as the poles. However, the Eocene-Oligocene transition, marked by the cooling and expansion of Antarctic ice sheets, shifted Earth toward a cooler, drier climate. This shift in climate during the Oligocene led to the spread of grasslands and the rise of grazing mammals. Horses, antelope, and elephants adapted to these new habitats, evolving high-crowned teeth for processing tough grasses. Meanwhile, carnivores like Hyaenodon and Amphibian adapted as apex predators in these open environments. The Miocene epoch, around 23 million years ago, continued this trend with the expansion of large-bodied herbivores like Dinotherium and the evolution of primates such as Proconsul, an early ancestor of apes and humans. The cooling climate of the Pliocene further favored grassland expansion, setting the stage for the emergence of the genus Homo. The Ice Ages and the dawn of modern humans. The Pleistocene epoch, commonly known as the Ice Age, began around 2.6 million years ago and was characterized by repeated glaciations driven by shifts in Earth's orbit and axial tilt, Milankovitch cycles. Massive ice sheets advanced and retreated, reshaping landscapes and driving megafaunal evolution. Woolly mammoths, saber-toothed cats like Smilodon, and giant ground sloths adapted to the cold steppe environments, while early humans developed increasingly complex tools and hunting strategies. Modern humans, Homo sapiens, emerged during this period, spreading from Africa into Europe, Asia, and eventually the Americas. By the end of the Pleistocene, humans had become the dominant species, developing agriculture, constructing permanent settlements, and altering the planet's ecosystems on a scale never before seen. Earth's story continues. Earth's story is still being written, shaped by the same forces that have governed its past. The tectonic shifts, climate cycles, and evolutionary pressures that define the prehistoric world continue today. Understanding this deep history reminds us not only of life's resilience, but of the fragile balance that sustains biodiversity on our ever-changing planet. Earth's prehistoric narrative continues as a breathtaking testament to the ancient cycles of creation, collapse, and renewal that have shaped life for billions of years. It is a story of persistence, where even in the aftermath of catastrophic extinctions, life has found ways to adapt, diversify, and flourish anew. The rhythms of extinction and rebirth, driven by the shifting continents, changing climates, and cosmic collisions, have repeatedly reshaped the biosphere and driven evolution forward. From the microscopic life forms of the Archean to the vast, complex ecosystems of the Mesozoic and beyond, this ancient saga continues to reveal the profound interconnectedness between geology and biology. The fossil record tells a story of constant change, written into the very rocks that form Earth's crust. The massive upheavals of extinction events like the Great Dying at the end of the Permian, the Triassic-Jurassic extinction, and the infamous Chicxulub impact have all left scars on the planet, evident in layers of iridium, fossilized ash, and sudden shifts in biodiversity. Yet life has always emerged from these upheavals, altered but resilient, shaped by the relentless pressures of natural selection. The rise of the dinosaurs in the Triassic and their dominance through the Jurassic and Cretaceous showcases evolution's capacity for innovation. From the small, nimble ancestors of Coelophysis to the titanic Argentinosaurus, dinosaurs adapted to a changing world, evolving specialized forms to thrive in diverse environments. Some, like the colossal sauropods, grew to unprecedented sizes, exploiting a low-browsing, herbivorous niche that allowed them to dominate vast floodplains and fern prairies. Others, like Velociraptor and Deinonychus, evolved into agile hunters with specialized claws and keen intelligence, suggesting complex behaviors that blurred the line between reptiles and modern birds. The oceans of the Mesozoic teemed with equally impressive biodiversity. Ichthyosaurs, with their streamlined bodies and massive eyes adapted for deep-sea hunting, were the apex predators of early Jurassic seas. Plesiosaurs, with their long necks and flipper-driven swimming, occupied a separate ecological role, hunting prey in shallow coastal regions. Ammonites, the spiral-shelled cephalopods, flourished as primary prey species, evolving intricate shell designs and defensive strategies to survive the threats of marine reptiles. Coral reefs, built not by modern corals but by ancient bivalves known as rudists, supported diverse ecosystems that mirrored the complexity of modern reef systems. The Cretaceous period marked both the zenith of dinosaur diversity and the final chapter of their dominance. Flowering plants, angiosperms, spread rapidly across the continents, transforming the structure of terrestrial ecosystems. This botanical revolution led to the co-evolution of herbivores like Triceratops and Parasaurolophus, which developed specialized dental structures to process the tougher vegetation. Predators adapted in response. Tyrannosaurus rex emerged as one of the largest terrestrial carnivores in history, with massive jaws capable of crushing bone, while Spinosaurus evolved unique adaptations for a semi-aquatic lifestyle, its elongated skull and conical teeth ideal for catching fish in Cretaceous river systems. The end of the Cretaceous was sudden and catastrophic, forever altering the course of life on Earth. The Chicxulub asteroid, striking near what is now the Yucatan Peninsula, unleashed an apocalyptic cascade of events. The initial impact generated shockwaves equivalent to billions of atomic bombs, followed by massive wildfires, tsunamis, and a prolonged global winter caused by atmospheric debris blocking sunlight. Photosynthesis ceased, food chains collapsed, and 3/4 of all species vanished, including the non-avian dinosaurs, ammonites, and most marine reptiles. Yet some life endured. Avian dinosaurs, birds, managed to survive, as did small, burrowing mammals, along with various reptiles and fish species. From this devastation, a new era began. The Cenozoic era, often referred to as the Age of Mammals, saw the rapid diversification of mammals in the absence of the dinosaurs. Freed from the constraints imposed by the towering reptilian giants, mammals expanded into an extraordinary array of forms and ecological roles. The early Paleocene was a time of modest beginnings, with small, generalized mammals like Protungulatum and Purgatorius filling the niches left vacant by smaller non-avian dinosaurs. Yet, as ecosystems stabilized, the evolutionary explosion that followed was extraordinary. By the Eocene, mammals had diversified into massive herbivores like Uintatherium, the earliest forms of whales like Basilosaurus, and even early primates like Notharctus, which explored the canopies of lush tropical forests. The cooling climate of the Oligocene marked a pivotal shift in Earth's history. The formation of the Antarctic ice sheet and the opening of the Drake Passage between South America and Antarctica created powerful ocean currents that dramatically altered global weather patterns. Tropical forests receded, giving way to grasslands and open woodlands that favored the evolution of grazing mammals. Early horses like Mesohippus, rhinoceroses, and the massive, trunked Dinotherium roamed these expanding savannas, while carnivores like Hyaenodon and Amphibian evolved as apex predators suited for the open landscapes. The Miocene epoch, beginning around 23 million years ago, saw the continued expansion of grasslands and the evolution of some of the largest land mammals ever to exist. Paraceratherium, a hornless rhinoceros towering over 16 feet tall, browsed on high vegetation in a world where vast herds of grazing animals spread across the plains. Predators like the saber-toothed cat Macaridus and the bear dog Amphibian thrived in this period of abundant megafauna. The Pliocene brought the next major evolutionary milestone, the emergence of the genus Homo. The cooling climate and continued grassland expansion created selective pressures favoring bipedal locomotion, freeing the hands for tool use and shaping the evolutionary path toward modern humans. Australopithecus afarensis, famously represented by the fossil Lucy, exemplifies this pivotal transition. Over the following millions of years, species like Homo habilis, Homo erectus, and eventually Homo sapiens emerged, developing increasingly complex tools, symbolic thought, and cultural practices. The Pleistocene epoch, often referred to as the Ice Age, saw Earth enter a cycle of repeated glaciations. Massive ice sheets advanced and retreated, sculpting modern landscapes and giving rise to megafaunal species adapted to harsh climates. Woolly mammoths, giant ground sloths, and saber-toothed cats thrived during these periods, while early humans, including the Neanderthals, adapted through toolmaking, clothing, and fire use. As the last glaciers retreated around 11,700 years ago, the Holocene epoch began, ushering in a period of climatic stability that allowed human civilization to flourish. The development of agriculture, the rise of permanent settlements, and the construction of monumental architecture marked the beginning of the Anthropocene, a proposed epoch defined by human influence on the planet's ecosystems and climate. Earth's deep history is not merely a record of ancient life, but a profound narrative of adaptation, loss, and survival. It teaches us that extinction is both a natural part of life cycles and a stark warning of the consequences of unchecked environmental change. The fossil record reveals the fragility of ecosystems in the face of rapid disruptions, while also highlighting life's extraordinary ability to recover, given time. Yet, as humanity continues to alter the planet's atmosphere, oceans, and biodiversity at an unprecedented pace, the lessons of Earth's deep past become ever more vital. Mass extinctions have always reshaped the biosphere, but the current biodiversity crisis is unique in that it is driven not by natural forces, but by the actions of a single species, Homo sapiens. Earth's prehistoric story reminds us not only of life's resilience but of our responsibility as stewards of this ancient, living world. Earth's prehistoric narrative continues to unfold across the vast epochs of deep time, a testament to the unyielding forces that have shaped the planet's surface, its climate, and the life forms that have thrived, adapted, and succumbed to the pressures of an ever-changing world. Through cataclysmic events, evolutionary breakthroughs, and geological transformations, Earth has remained a dynamic and ever-evolving system where life, despite its fragility, has demonstrated extraordinary resilience. The fossil record, stretching back over 3.5 billion years, reveals not just the story of individual species but the larger patterns of extinction and recovery that have defined Earth's ancient biosphere. The cycles of mass extinction, biodiversity collapse, and evolutionary renewal remain among the most profound forces in Earth's history. Each extinction event has reshaped the trajectory of life, often wiping out entire lineages and resetting the evolutionary stage. Yet, from these moments of devastation, life has repeatedly rebounded, filling the voids left behind with innovative new forms. This pattern has played out not once, but 5 times in Earth's deep past, with each mass extinction acting as both a catastrophe and a creative force, forever altering the biosphere. The Permian Triassic extinction, also known as the Great Dying, stands as the most severe of these global crises. Approximately 252 million years ago, a series of massive volcanic eruptions in the Siberian Traps unleashed catastrophic climate shifts. The eruptions released massive amounts of carbon dioxide and methane, triggering global warming, ocean acidification, and the depletion of oxygen in marine environments. An estimated 96% of marine species and 70% of terrestrial vertebrates perished, wiping out entire ecosystems that had thrived for millions of years. Coral reefs collapsed, trilobites became extinct after surviving multiple prior extinctions, and large synapsids, the dominant terrestrial vertebrates of the time, all but vanished. Yet, life persisted. Among the survivors were small, burrowing vertebrates, early amphibians, and the ancestors of modern reptiles and mammals. The Triassic period that followed was a time of gradual ecological recovery, where surviving lineages, including the early archosaurs, diversified and expanded. From this evolutionary experimentation emerged the first true dinosaurs, small, bipedal reptiles like Eoraptor and Coelophysis that would lay the groundwork for the incredible diversity of the Jurassic and Cretaceous periods. The Jurassic period, beginning around 201 million years ago, marked the full ascendancy of the dinosaurs. With the breakup of Pangaea in full swing, shallow inland seas expanded, creating fertile floodplains and lush coastal environments where enormous herbivorous dinosaurs flourished. Colossal sauropods such as Brachiosaurus, Diplodocus, and Apatosaurus dominated these landscapes, their sheer size serving as a defense against predators. Meanwhile, carnivorous theropods like Allosaurus and Ceratosaurus evolved specialized hunting strategies, with some species displaying evidence of pack behavior and complex predatory tactics. The Jurassic was also a golden age for marine biodiversity. The oceans teemed with life, from the torpedo-shaped ichthyosaurs that hunted in deep waters to the long-necked plesiosaurs that patrolled shallow coastal regions. Coral reefs, composed of now-extinct rudist bivalves, provided habitats for ammonites, belemnites, and a diverse range of fish. Pterosaurs, including Pteranodon and Rhamphorhynchus, took to the skies as the first vertebrates capable of powered flight, while the discovery of Archaeopteryx from the late Jurassic revealed the evolutionary link between theropod dinosaurs and modern birds. The Cretaceous period, spanning from 145 to 66 million years ago, witnessed further evolutionary breakthroughs, particularly with the rise of flowering plants, angiosperms. This botanical revolution transformed terrestrial ecosystems, introducing new forms of mutualism between plants and pollinators, such as early bees and beetles. Herbivorous dinosaurs adapted to this shifting environment, with species like Triceratops developing beaked jaws for efficient plant cropping, while hadrosaurs like Edmontosaurus evolved complex dental batteries for grinding fibrous vegetation. Predatory dinosaurs continued to diversify during the Cretaceous, with Tyrannosaurus rex emerging as one of the most formidable apex predators in Earth's history. With a skull capable of delivering bone-crushing bites, T. rex exemplified evolutionary specialization in carnivory. Meanwhile, the semi-aquatic Spinosaurus, with its elongated snout and sail-like spine, adapted to a piscivorous lifestyle, representing a departure from the traditional image of theropod predators. Yet, the Cretaceous period was destined to end in catastrophe. Around 66 million years ago, the Chicxulub asteroid impact triggered a global extinction event that marked the end of the Mesozoic era. The asteroid, measuring approximately 10 kilometers in diameter, struck near what is now Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula, releasing an energy equivalent to billions of atomic bombs. The impact set off a chain reaction of environmental disasters, including massive wildfires, tsunamis, and the ejection of immense amounts of particulate matter into the atmosphere, which blocked sunlight and disrupted global photosynthesis. The consequences were devastating. Entire ecosystems collapsed as plant life withered and food chains unraveled. The non-avian dinosaurs, pterosaurs, ammonites, and many marine reptiles were among the casualties. However, not all life perished. Birds, the only surviving lineage of theropod dinosaurs, endured alongside small mammals, reptiles, and amphibians, setting the stage for the next great phase of evolutionary expansion. The Cenozoic era, beginning after the Chicxulub impact, saw the rapid diversification of mammals as the dominant terrestrial vertebrates. Freed from the ecological pressures imposed by the dinosaurs, mammals evolved into a dizzying variety of forms. The early Paleocene was marked by small, generalized species like Protungulatum, but by the Eocene epoch, just 10 million years later, mammals had diversified into massive herbivores like Uintatherium, early cetaceans like Basilosaurus, and the first primates exploring the canopies of tropical forests. The cooling trend that began during the Oligocene, around 34 million years ago, reshaped global ecosystems once again. The formation of permanent Antarctic ice sheets, driven by the separation of South America from Antarctica and the establishment of the Antarctic Circumpolar Current, led to the expansion of grasslands and the decline of tropical forests. This shift favored the evolution of grazing mammals such as early horses, antelope, and rhinoceroses, while predators like hyaenodon and amphibian adapted to life in open habitats. The Miocene epoch, beginning around 23 million years ago, saw the rise of megafauna like Paraceratherium, a hornless rhinoceros that towered over the landscape, and predators like the saber-toothed cat Macaridus. Meanwhile, primates continued to evolve, with species like Proconsul representing an important step toward the emergence of the great apes and, eventually, humans. By the Pliocene, around 5 million years ago, hominins had begun to walk the earth. Australopithecus afarensis, famously represented by the fossil Lucy, marked a pivotal step toward bipedalism, freeing the hands for tool use and signaling the evolutionary path toward Homo habilis, Homo erectus, and eventually Homo sapiens. The climatic oscillations of the Pleistocene further shaped human evolution, with glaciers advancing and retreating across the northern hemisphere, driving adaptation in both megafauna and early human populations. The Holocene epoch, which began around 11,700 years ago, ushered in a period of climatic stability that allowed human civilizations to flourish. The domestication of plants and animals, the rise of agriculture, and the development of written language transformed human societies, yet they also marked the beginning of humanity's profound influence on the global environment. Earth's prehistoric past, from the first cyanobacteria to the Great Ice Age megafauna, is a reminder that life is both fragile and resilient. It teaches us that while species can endure catastrophic change, recovery is slow and requires millions of years. As humanity now shapes the biosphere in unprecedented ways, the lessons of Earth's deep past offer both a warning and a call to protect the biodiversity that has taken billions of years to evolve. Earth's ancient history, stretching across billions of years, reveals a world constantly in flux, where the rise and fall of life has been shaped by cataclysmic extinctions and extraordinary recoveries. From the barren, molten landscapes of the Hadean Eon to the lush Cretaceous forests ruled by dinosaurs, Earth's story is a profound testament to the resilience of life and the powerful forces that have sculpted the biosphere. Though species have come and gone, the rhythms of extinction and renewal have continued uninterrupted, leaving behind a fossil record filled with evidence of both loss and transformation. These evolutionary cycles are driven by profound forces, tectonic movements, shifting ocean currents, asteroid impacts, and the subtle shifts in Earth's orbit. Each epoch has seen both the collapse of dominant species and the rise of new ones, demonstrating life's capacity for reinvention after even the most extreme environmental crises. As we move further along this deep narrative, it becomes clear that Earth's story is not one of linear progress but of complex, interwoven patterns of destruction and adaptation. The Permian-Triassic extinction, around 252 million years ago, serves as a stark reminder of nature's power to reset the evolutionary clock. Triggered by the massive volcanic eruptions of the Siberian Traps, this catastrophe unleashed vast quantities of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, triggering a runaway greenhouse effect. Oceans acidified, temperatures soared, and anoxic, oxygen-depleted, waters spread across the seas. Coral reefs collapsed entirely, and trilobites, which had survived multiple prior extinctions, finally disappeared. On land, vast ecosystems were wiped out, including the ancient synapsids, mammal-like reptiles that had once dominated terrestrial environments. Yet, as in every mass extinction, life persisted. Small burrowing species like Lystrosaurus clung to existence in the shattered landscape, while the Triassic period that followed became a crucible of evolutionary experimentation. It was during this time that the first true dinosaurs emerged from the evolutionary shadows, beginning as small, nimble creatures like Coelophysis. These early dinosaurs, along with the ancestors of modern crocodilians and mammals, were among the survivors who began to reclaim the emptied niches left by the extinction. The Jurassic period, beginning around 201 million years ago, marked the full ascension of the dinosaurs. As the supercontinent Pangaea fragmented, shallow inland seas spread, creating lush floodplains where plant life thrived and herbivorous dinosaurs like Apatosaurus and Diplodocus grew to immense sizes. The giant sauropods of this period represent the pinnacle of gigantism among terrestrial vertebrates, evolving long necks and whip-like tails as adaptations for reaching high vegetation while fending off predators. Among the apex predators of the Jurassic was Allosaurus, a fearsome theropod with serrated teeth and powerful jaws capable of taking down even the largest sauropods. Meanwhile, the first feathered dinosaurs began to appear, including Archaeopteryx, whose fossilized remains revealed a critical evolutionary link between dinosaurs and modern birds. This era also saw the reign of marine reptiles like ichthyosaurs, the dolphin-like predators of the ancient seas, alongside the long-necked plesiosaurs and massive pliosaurs such as Kronosaurus. The Cretaceous period, spanning from 145 to 66 million years ago, witnessed the continued dominance of dinosaurs but also significant evolutionary shifts. Flowering plants, or angiosperms, began to spread across the continents, transforming terrestrial ecosystems and fostering the rise of complex pollinator relationships with early insects. Dinosaurs like Triceratops, Parasaurolophus, and Edmontosaurus adapted to these changes, developing specialized dental adaptations for processing fibrous plants. Apex predators like Tyrannosaurus rex evolved during this period, becoming the largest terrestrial carnivore of all time with an astonishing bite force capable of crushing bone. Marine ecosystems remained equally diverse during the Cretaceous. Massive mosasaurs, apex marine reptiles that reached lengths of over 50 feet, dominated the seas alongside ammonites and giant sea turtles like Archelon. Yet, despite this biodiversity, the age of dinosaurs would come to a sudden and dramatic end with the Chicxulub impact, one of the most devastating mass extinction events in Earth's history. Approximately 66 million years ago, a 10-kilometer-wide asteroid struck the Yucatan Peninsula with an impact force equivalent to billions of nuclear bombs. The collision triggered immediate firestorms, tsunamis, and a planet-wide nuclear winter, as ash and debris filled the atmosphere, blocking sunlight and halting photosynthesis. Food chains collapsed almost instantly, leading to the extinction of nearly 75% of all species, including all non-avian dinosaurs, pterosaurs, and ammonites. Yet, as before, life found a way to continue. The Cenozoic era, which followed the extinction of the dinosaurs, saw the rise of mammals from small nocturnal survivors into the dominant terrestrial vertebrates. The Paleocene epoch, immediately following the asteroid impact, was a period of recovery where simple mammals like Pertungulatum and Purgatorius thrived in forested environments. However, as ecosystems stabilized, mammals diversified rapidly. By the Eocene epoch, just 10 million years later, Earth was home to massive herbivores like Uintatherium, early whales like Basilosaurus, and the ancestors of modern primates exploring the treetops. The Oligocene epoch, around 34 million years ago, brought a dramatic cooling trend as Antarctica became permanently glaciated. The retreat of tropical forests and the expansion of grasslands set the stage for the evolution of grazing mammals like the early horse Mesohippus, rhinoceroses, and the massive Dinotherium. Apex predators adapted as well, with the bear-like Amphibian and the saber-toothed Hyaenodon dominating the food chain. The Miocene epoch, beginning around 23 million years ago, saw even greater diversification of mammals, including the largest land mammal to have ever lived, Paraceratherium, a hornless rhinoceros that stood over 16 feet tall at the shoulder. Carnivores also flourished, with the rise of saber-toothed cats like Macaridus, while primates continued their evolutionary path toward modern great apes. The expansion of grasslands further drove the evolution of herd species, while the ancestors of modern whales, elephants, and big cats began to take familiar forms. By the time of the Pleistocene epoch, around 2.6 million years ago, Earth had entered a cycle of glaciations and interglacial periods, commonly known as the Ice Ages. These climatic cycles shaped modern ecosystems, carving out massive valleys, fjords, and lakes while driving the evolution of megafauna. Woolly mammoths, mastodons, and giant ground sloths thrived in the cold steppe environments, while apex predators like Smilodon, the saber-toothed cat, and the short-faced bear Arctidus evolved powerful adaptations for hunting in harsh conditions. It was during this period that the genus Homo fully emerged. Early hominins, such as Australopithecus afarensis, laid the groundwork for bipedalism, while species like Homo habilis developed stone tools. By the time of Homo erectus, early humans were mastering fire and beginning to migrate out of Africa into Europe and Asia. Eventually, Homo sapiens emerged, spreading across the globe and developing increasingly complex tools, symbolic art, and social structures. The Holocene epoch, which began approximately 11,700 years ago, marked the retreat of the last great ice sheets and the rise of human civilizations. The development of agriculture, permanent settlements, and the domestication of plants and animals transformed human societies. However, this rapid expansion has also brought significant ecological consequences. Deforestation, habitat fragmentation, and biodiversity loss have accelerated in the modern era, leading to what many scientists now describe as a sixth mass extinction event. Earth's ancient past reminds us not only of life's extraordinary resilience, but also of its fragility. Extinction events have always shaped the planet's evolutionary course, but today, human activity poses an unprecedented challenge to biodiversity. As the dominant species, humanity has both the knowledge and the responsibility to safeguard the intricate web of life that has taken billions of years to evolve. Earth's deep history is one of profound transformation, where life has both flourished and been tested by the raw forces of nature. Across billions of years, the cycles of creation, extinction, and renewal have played out on a planetary scale. From the fiery, molten chaos of Earth's early formation to the reign of dinosaurs and the emergence of complex mammals, every layer of sediment and fossilized bone whispers stories of worlds long vanished. The forces that shaped these worlds, tectonic upheavals, shifting climates, asteroid impacts, and oceanic transformations, continue to mold the planet today. The mass extinctions that have punctuated Earth's timeline reveal the dual nature of life's fragility and resilience. The great dying of the Permian-Triassic boundary eradicated over 90% of marine species and left vast ecological voids. Yet from this devastation arose the dinosaurs and the evolutionary innovations that would come to define the Mesozoic era. Similarly, the Chicxulub impact may have ended the age of the dinosaurs, but it also paved the way for the mammalian expansion that defines the Cenozoic. These cycles are not random but deeply tied to the planet's shifting systems, volcanic activity, asteroid impacts, changing ocean currents, and atmospheric shifts, all influencing life on a global scale. The Jurassic and Cretaceous periods saw the zenith of the dinosaurs, where species adapted in spectacular ways to fill an evolving world of lush forests, vast floodplains, and inland seas. Sauropods like Diplodocus and Brachiosaurus achieved sizes previously unimaginable, while predatory theropods such as Allosaurus and Ceratosaurus perfected the art of ambush hunting. Some of the most significant evolutionary milestones of this era, however, were not limited to size. Feathered theropods such as Microraptor and Archaeopteryx began experimenting with flight, eventually giving rise to modern birds. Meanwhile, pterosaurs like Pteranodon and Quetzalcoatlus achieved mastery of the skies, their wingspans exceeding those of any modern bird. Beneath the waves, Mesozoic seas were no less spectacular. Ichthyosaurs, resembling modern dolphins but with reptilian features, reigned as apex predators in the earlier Jurassic seas, while plesiosaurs, with their long necks and paddle-like limbs, patrolled coastal regions. The Cretaceous brought forth mosasaurs, immense marine reptiles capable of growing over 50 feet in length, while ammonites, with their intricate coiled shells, continued to thrive as primary prey species in these ancient oceans. Coral reefs, built not by modern corals but by rudist bivalves, provided shelter for smaller fish, mollusks, and crustaceans, showcasing the complexity of Cretaceous marine ecosystems. Yet the Cretaceous period was not only marked by biodiversity, but also by planetary change. Flowering plants, angiosperms, emerged and spread rapidly, transforming terrestrial ecosystems by introducing new food sources for herbivores and fostering mutualistic relationships with pollinating insects like early bees. This botanical revolution shaped the diets of herbivorous dinosaurs such as Triceratops, Iguanodon, and the hadrosaur Parasaurolophus, which developed specialized dentition to process fibrous plant matter. Meanwhile, apex predators like Tyrannosaurus rex reached the apex of carnivorous specialization, evolving powerful jaws capable of delivering a bone-crushing bite, while semi-aquatic species like Spinosaurus blurred the line between terrestrial and aquatic hunting strategies. Despite this flourishing biodiversity, the Cretaceous was destined to end in catastrophe. The Chicxulub asteroid impact, a 10-kilometer wide body striking near what is now Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula, unleashed a chain of apocalyptic events. The impact generated shockwaves, massive wildfires, and global tsunamis, but its most devastating consequence was the ejection of massive quantities of dust, soot, and sulfur into the atmosphere. This opaque veil blocked sunlight for months, possibly years, halting photosynthesis and plunging the planet into a prolonged impact winter. Food chains collapsed, beginning with the primary producers, and within a short span of geological time, approximately 75% of all species vanished, including all non-avian dinosaurs, pterosaurs, ammonites, and many marine reptiles. Yet, as always, life endured. Small, adaptable mammals, birds, the only surviving lineage of dinosaurs, crocodilians, and some reptiles weathered the catastrophe. The Cenozoic era, which followed, became the stage for a new evolutionary explosion, this time led by mammals. The Paleocene epoch, the first chapter of the Cenozoic, was a time of ecological recovery and experimentation. With the dinosaurs gone, mammals rapidly diversified to fill vacant niches. Early forms, such as the rodent-like Protungulatum and the tree-dwelling Purgatorius, were small, generalized species capable of surviving on varied diets. However, as the ecosystem stabilized, mammalian evolution accelerated dramatically. The Eocene epoch, beginning around 56 million years ago, saw the emergence of larger herbivores like Uintatherium and the first cetaceans, such as Pakicetus, an early ancestor of modern whales still capable of walking on land. The gradual cooling of Earth during the Oligocene epoch, around 34 million years ago, was driven in part by the separation of Antarctica from South America, which led to the formation of the Antarctic Circumpolar Current. This powerful ocean current isolated the southern continent, triggering the growth of massive ice sheets and initiating a global cooling trend. As rainforests receded, grasslands expanded, driving the evolution of grazing mammals like the early horses Mesohippus and Paraceratherium, a hornless rhinoceros that remains the largest land mammal to have ever lived, towering over 16 feet tall. The Miocene epoch, beginning 23 million years ago, marked the height of mammalian diversification. Megafauna such as the massive Deinotherium and the giraffe-like Civatherium roamed the grasslands, while apex predators like Macaridus, a saber-toothed cat, and Amphiceon, the bear dog, continued to evolve specialized adaptations for ambush predation. Primates, too, continued their evolutionary journey, with species like Proconsul representing a crucial step toward the great apes and, eventually, modern humans. By the time of the Pleistocene epoch, around 2.6 million years ago, Earth had entered a cycle of repeated glaciations. The ice ages transformed the planet, covering vast regions of North America, Europe, and Asia with massive ice sheets. Megafauna such as the woolly mammoth, the giant ground sloth, and the saber-toothed cat Smilodon evolved unique adaptations for surviving the harsh steppe environments of this period. Early humans, including Homo erectus and Neanderthals, expanded across the globe, using tools, fire, and cooperation to adapt to increasingly diverse climates. Modern humans, Homo sapiens, emerged around 300,000 years ago, marking a profound shift in Earth's evolutionary history. With the development of complex language, symbolic thought, and cultural expression, humans began not only to adapt to their environments but also to alter them in unprecedented ways. The development of agriculture during the Holocene, beginning around 11,700 years ago, led to permanent settlements, the rise of civilizations, and the dramatic reshaping of the planet's ecosystems. Yet, as the Holocene gives way to the Anthropocene, a proposed epoch defined by human influence on the biosphere, Earth's ancient past offers a sobering perspective. Mass extinctions have repeatedly reshaped the trajectory of life, yet they have always occurred over millions of years, whereas today, human-driven biodiversity loss is accelerating at an unprecedented pace. Deforestation, pollution, climate change, and habitat destruction have initiated a biodiversity crisis that mirrors the mass extinctions of the past, but compressed into a geologic instant. Earth's story is one of both awe and caution. The cycles of life's expansion and collapse reveal both the resilience and vulnerability of the biosphere. Studying this ancient past provides critical insights into the interconnectedness of life and the fragility of ecosystems in the face of rapid change. The fossil record stands as both a scientific chronicle and a moral reminder. While life has always found ways to persist, it does so on timescales far longer than human civilizations can comprehend. Earth's ancient history continues to unfold as a sweeping saga of transformation and resilience, where life, shaped by planetary upheavals, has repeatedly risen from the ashes of extinction events and adapted to new environmental realities. Across billions of years, Earth's story has been punctuated by dramatic extinctions and recoveries, each chapter revealing the profound interconnectedness of geological forces and biological evolution. The fossil record stands as both a scientific archive and a philosophical reminder of life's remarkable capacity to endure and diversify in the face of extreme change. The Cenozoic era, beginning approximately 66 million years ago, marked a profound shift in Earth's evolutionary trajectory following the catastrophic Chicxulub impact. The asteroid, which obliterated the non-avian dinosaurs along with countless other species, reset the biological stage, leaving mammals, birds, and small reptiles as the primary survivors. The extinction, while devastating, created opportunities for the survivors to radiate into the ecological voids left behind. The Paleocene epoch, the first epoch of the Cenozoic, was a time of recovery and biological experimentation. In the absence of dominant reptilian megafauna, mammals began to diversify from small, shrew-like ancestors into a variety of forms. Early placental mammals such as Pertungulatum and Purgatorius roamed the recovering landscapes, feeding on a wide array of plants and insects. The extinction had leveled ecosystems so profoundly that even the structure of forests and plains changed. Coniferous forests gave way to broadleaf tropical forests, and ferns temporarily dominated the ground cover before angiosperms recovered and re-established their dominance. By the time of the Eocene epoch, beginning around 56 million years ago, mammals had fully taken advantage of the ecological opportunities left by the dinosaurs' extinction. This epoch saw the emergence of many modern mammalian orders, including the early ancestors of whales, elephants, and primates. Basilosaurus, one of the first fully aquatic whales, was a fearsome predator in the Eocene seas, its long, serpentine body indicating a transitional stage between terrestrial mammals and modern cetaceans. Meanwhile, early elephants like Moratherium, though small and amphibious compared to their modern relatives, began to exhibit the specialized teeth and trunks characteristic of their lineage. The Eocene also saw the rise of primates such as Notharctus, a lemur-like arboreal species that hints at the evolutionary trajectory leading toward modern apes and humans. However, the period of climatic stability that had allowed mammals to flourish began to shift dramatically. By the end of the Eocene, Earth underwent significant cooling, driven by the isolation of Antarctica and the formation of permanent ice sheets. This cooling transition gave rise to the Oligocene epoch, a time marked by the expansion of grasslands and the decline of tropical rainforests. The cooling climate of the Oligocene, around 34 million years ago, transformed global ecosystems. As ice sheets expanded and forests receded, vast grasslands emerged, favoring the evolution of grazing mammals. Horses, represented by species like Mesohippus, evolved more efficient teeth for grinding tough grasses, while rhinoceroses and early elephants continued to diversify. Meanwhile, the carnivores adapted as well. Hyaenodon, a large, bone-crushing predator, evolved to exploit the herding mammals of the expanding savannas. The Miocene epoch, beginning around 23 million years ago, marked the peak of mammalian diversification. The spread of grasslands across much of the planet fueled the evolution of megafauna, including massive herbivores like Paraceratherium, the largest land mammal ever to exist. This hornless rhinoceros could grow over 16 feet tall at the shoulder, its towering frame supported by columnar legs adapted for grazing high vegetation. Carnivores, too, flourished during the Miocene, with saber-toothed cats like Macaridus and the powerful amphibian, bear dog, dominating the predatory landscape. Meanwhile, primates continued their evolutionary ascent. Proconsul, an early ape from the Miocene, showed a mix of both primitive and modern traits, including flexible shoulders and a more upright posture. This evolutionary experimentation within the primate lineage set the stage for the emergence of hominins, a group that would eventually give rise to modern humans. By the time of the Pliocene epoch, approximately 5 million years ago, global climates had continued to cool, leading to the establishment of polar ice caps and further expansion of grasslands. The ancestors of modern elephants, giraffes, and antelope thrived in this environment, while the genus Australopithecus, including Australopithecus afarensis, famously known as Lucy, took their first upright steps on the African savannas. Bipedalism, a critical adaptation for traversing open landscapes, marked a pivotal evolutionary shift, freeing the hands for tool use and signaling the beginning of humanity's unique evolutionary path. The Pleistocene epoch, often referred to as the Ice Age, began around 2.6 million years ago and brought with it dramatic climatic oscillations driven by Milankovitch cycles, subtle variations in Earth's orbit and axial tilt. These cycles led to repeated glaciations, during which massive ice sheets expanded across much of the northern hemisphere, carving out landscapes and influencing sea levels. This epoch was defined by the rise of megafauna, giant mammals adapted for cold climates, such as the woolly mammoth, the mastodon, the woolly rhinoceros, and the colossal ground sloth Megatherium. Predators, too, evolved to match the scale of their prey. Smilodon, the iconic saber-toothed cat, adapted with massive canine teeth and powerful forelimbs suited for ambush hunting. The short-faced bear Arctodus, one of the largest terrestrial carnivores ever known, likely dominated the Pleistocene North American food web. Yet, this era was not defined solely by megafauna. It was also the epoch that saw the rise of Homo sapiens. The genus Homo had emerged earlier in the Pleistocene, with species like Homo habilis using primitive tools and Homo erectus mastering fire and expanding across Eurasia. By around 300,000 years ago, modern humans had evolved, characterized by complex language, symbolic thought, and increasingly sophisticated tools. During the Pleistocene, humans coexisted with other hominin species, including the Neanderthals and Denisovans, both of whom left genetic legacies still present in modern human populations. The end of the Pleistocene, marked by the retreat of the last great ice sheets around 11,700 years ago, ushered in the Holocene epoch, the geological period in which we currently live. This relatively warm, stable climate allowed for the development of agriculture, the rise of permanent settlements, and the emergence of the first true civilizations. However, the Holocene has also seen an unprecedented shift in Earth's ecosystems, driven not by natural forces but by human activity. As human populations expanded and technological advancements accelerated, so too did humanity's impact on the biosphere. The deforestation of ancient forests, the damming of rivers, the burning of fossil fuels, and the introduction of invasive species have all fundamentally altered ecosystems that had taken millions of years to stabilize. These impacts have led many scientists to propose the concept of the Anthropocene, a new epoch defined by human-driven ecological change. The lessons of Earth's deep past serve as both a warning and a reminder. Life has endured cataclysms far greater than anything humanity has yet faced, but recovery often takes millions of years. Mass extinctions like the Permian-Triassic and the Cretaceous-Paleogene events left scars on the biosphere that took tens of millions of years to heal. Today, species are disappearing at rates comparable to those ancient extinctions, yet this time, the driver is not a volcanic eruption or asteroid impact but human activity. However, Earth's story also speaks of resilience. life has rebounded from each extinction, diversifying into new and extraordinary forms. This ancient narrative underscores not only the importance of biodiversity, but also the profound interconnectedness of all living systems. To safeguard the future, we must understand and respect the patterns of the past, honoring Earth's vast, ancient story by protecting the ecosystems that have taken billions of years to evolve. Earth's ancient history continues to reveal a powerful story of cycles, of creation, collapse, and renewal, woven into the fabric of the planet's crust and preserved within the fossil record. Stretching across billions of years, this epic tale chronicles not only the rise of life, but also the immense forces that have repeatedly reshaped the biosphere. From the fiery birth of the planet to the profound extinction events that have altered the evolutionary path, Earth's story is one of both awe-inspiring resilience and delicate vulnerability. The Cenozoic era, which began 66 million years ago in the aftermath of the Chicxulub asteroid impact, remains a crucial chapter in this saga. The catastrophic event that ended the age of dinosaurs also set the stage for the next great expansion of biodiversity, with mammals rising to fill ecological roles left vacant by the extinction of the non-avian dinosaurs. But the path toward the modern world was far from immediate. The Earth would continue to experience climatic shifts, geological upheavals, and dramatic evolutionary experiments across the epochs that followed. In the wake of the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction, the Paleocene epoch, 66 to 56 million years ago, saw Earth in a state of ecological recovery. Forests slowly regrew, and the planet warmed, creating a lush, greenhouse climate. Mammals, once overshadowed by the giant reptiles of the Mesozoic, began to diversify. Early mammals were relatively small, generalized creatures like Pertungulatum, which likely fed on insects and plants. Yet this modest beginning set the stage for the spectacular evolutionary radiation that would follow. The Eocene epoch, 56 to 34 million years ago, witnessed an extraordinary proliferation of mammalian diversity, with many of the modern mammalian orders emerging during this time. Tropical forests extended as far north as polar latitudes, with a warm, humid climate supporting vast biodiversity. This epoch saw the rise of early whales like Ambulocetus, a transitional species still capable of moving on land, as well as fully aquatic forms like Basilosaurus. Elephants also began their evolutionary journey with species such as Moratherium, a semi-aquatic ancestor of modern elephants with primitive trunks and tusks. Primates, too, were undergoing significant changes. The Eocene saw the emergence of early prosimians like Notharctus, a lemur-like tree dweller with grasping hands and forward-facing eyes. These adaptations for arboreal life set the evolutionary foundation for the later emergence of monkeys and apes. Meanwhile, ancient mammals like the massive herbivore Uintatherium, with its knobby skull and saber-like canines, thrived in the warm woodlands of the Eocene. However, the Eocene ended with a significant climatic shift known as the Eocene-Oligocene transition. Around 34 million years ago, the collision of Australia with Southeast Asia and the separation of Antarctica from South America triggered the formation of the Antarctic Circumpolar Current. This powerful oceanic current effectively isolated Antarctica, leading to the expansion of the continent's ice sheets and a dramatic cooling of the global climate. This marked the beginning of the Oligocene epoch, a cooler and drier period that would continue to shape the evolution of life on Earth. The Oligocene epoch, 34 to 23 million years ago, saw the continued expansion of grasslands as forests receded under the cooling conditions. This shift in vegetation profoundly influenced mammalian evolution, as species adapted to grazing on the increasingly dominant grasses. Early horses like Mesohippus evolved more complex teeth for processing tough plant matter, while massive herbivores like Dinotherium, a distant relative of modern elephants, roamed the savannas. Predators adapted alongside their prey, with species like Hyaenodon, a bone-crushing carnivore, becoming apex predators in this evolving landscape. By the Miocene epoch, 23 to 5.3 million years ago, Earth had become a world dominated by grasslands and open habitats. The Miocene was marked by the continued evolution of megafauna, including some of the largest mammals to ever exist. Paraceratherium, the hornless rhinoceros, remains one of the largest land mammals ever recorded, standing over 16 feet tall at the shoulder and weighing as much as 20 tons. Carnivores like Macaridus, a saber-toothed cat, adapted to hunt these massive herbivores, while species like Amphibian, the bear dog, filled the role of ambush predator. Primates also underwent critical evolutionary developments during the Miocene. The emergence of apes such as Proconsul, which displayed a more upright posture and flexible shoulder joints, marked an important step in primate evolution. These early apes laid the foundation for the hominin lineage that would eventually give rise to modern humans. The Pliocene epoch, 5.3 to 2.6 million years ago, continued the trend of global cooling, with the expansion of polar ice caps and the further spread of grassland ecosystems. The genus Australopithecus emerged during this time, marking a pivotal moment in human evolution. Australopithecus afarensis, famously represented by the fossil specimen Lucy, exhibited clear evidence of bipedal locomotion, a critical adaptation that allowed early hominins to traverse open savannas more efficiently while freeing the hands for tool use and food manipulation. The climatic shifts of the Pliocene set the stage for the dramatic environmental oscillations of the Pleistocene epoch, 2.6 million to 11,700 years ago, commonly known as the Ice Age. This epoch was defined by repeated glaciations driven by Milankovitch cycles, variations in Earth's orbit and axial tilt that led to massive ice sheets advancing and retreating across the northern hemisphere. These extreme climate fluctuations shaped modern landscapes, carving out valleys, fjords, and river basins while profoundly influencing the distribution of plant and animal life. Megafauna dominated the Pleistocene, with species such as the woolly mammoth, mastodon, and giant ground sloth Megatherium adapting to the frigid conditions of the Ice Age steppes. Predators, too, reached astonishing sizes, with Smilodon, the saber-toothed cat, and Arctodus, the short-faced bear, evolving specialized adaptations for hunting large prey. These megafaunal ecosystems were rich and complex, yet fragile in the face of the climatic instability that defined the Pleistocene. It was during this epoch that modern humans, Homo sapiens, fully emerged as a dominant species. Evolving around 300,000 years ago in Africa, humans expanded across the globe, adapting to diverse climates through the development of tools, clothing, and cooperative hunting strategies. Early art, such as the cave paintings in Lascaux and Chauvet, provides evidence of symbolic thought and cultural expression, highlighting the cognitive advancements that set humans apart from other species. The end of the Pleistocene marked the retreat of the great ice sheets and the beginning of the Holocene epoch, approximately 11,700 years ago. This period of relative climatic stability allowed for the rise of agriculture, the domestication of plants and animals, and the development of complex human civilizations. However, as human populations expanded and technological advancements accelerated, so too did humanity's impact on Earth's ecosystems. Deforestation, industrialization, and the burning of fossil fuels have initiated profound changes to the planet's climate, biodiversity, and geological processes. Many scientists now propose that we have entered a new epoch, the Anthropocene, defined by human influence on the planet's systems. Species are vanishing at rates comparable to dinosaurs is one of astonishing and global temperatures are rising at unprecedented rates due to human billions of years. The journey of our planet is a tale of fiery beginnings, the rise of extraordinary creatures, and the relentless forces that have shaped the landscapes we see today. Dinosaurs, as some of the most iconic inhabitants of this ancient world, played a pivotal role in the ecological balance and evolution of life on Earth. Over 4.5 billion years ago, Earth began its existence as a swirling mass of dust and gas, coalescing under the immense force of gravity. The young planet was a volatile, molten sphere, bombarded by asteroids and celestial debris. This chaotic environment eventually stabilized, allowing a solid crust to form. Water vapor from volcanic eruptions condensed to create the first oceans, and Earth's atmosphere began to take shape, a thick, toxic mix of gases that would slowly transform over billions of years. Fast forward to the late Precambrian, and the Earth was teeming with microscopic life. These early organisms began to release oxygen through photosynthesis, a pivotal moment that transformed the atmosphere and set the stage for complex life. Fossilized stromatolites, layered structures created by cyanobacteria, offer a glimpse into these ancient ecosystems, marking the origins of the oxygen-rich environment that allowed larger organisms to evolve. The Paleozoic era brought dramatic changes to Earth's biodiversity. Life expanded from the oceans onto land, leading to the rise of plants and the first terrestrial animals. Forests of ferns and towering club mosses covered the continents, creating habitats for the early ancestors of reptiles and amphibians. The Carboniferous period, often called the Coal Age, saw massive forests whose remains formed the coal deposits we mine today. But it was in the Mesozoic era, the age of dinosaurs, that Earth truly became a stage for extraordinary creatures. Dinosaurs first appeared during the Triassic period, evolving from small, agile reptiles that had survived the devastating Permian-Triassic extinction event. This extinction, often referred to as the Great Dying, wiped out over 90% of Earth's species, paving the way for dinosaurs to rise as dominant terrestrial vertebrates. By the Jurassic, dinosaurs had diversified into an array of forms. Sauropods like Brachiosaurus towered over the landscape, their long necks enabling them to reach the highest branches of conifers and cycads. Fossil evidence shows that these massive creatures could weigh as much as 80 tons, yet their hollow bones and efficient respiratory systems allowed them to move with surprising grace. Predators like Allosaurus stalked these giants, using their powerful legs and serrated teeth to take down prey. Fossilized remains of sauropods often bear the marks of theropod teeth, a stark reminder of the constant struggle for survival. Yet, even these apex predators were not immune to the challenges of their environment. Fossilized bones of Allosaurus reveal injuries and infections, offering a glimpse into the harsh realities of prehistoric life. During the Cretaceous, Earth's continents continued to drift apart, creating isolated landmasses that drove evolutionary divergence. In North America, the Western Interior Seaway split the continent, forming vast coastal plains that became the habitats of iconic dinosaurs like Tyrannosaurus rex and Triceratops. Fossilized trackways and nesting sites reveal the social behaviors of these creatures, from the herding habits of ceratopsians to the solitary hunting strategies of T. rex. South America, meanwhile, was home to some of the largest dinosaurs ever discovered. Argentinosaurus, a titanosaur, roamed the floodplains, its massive frame requiring an estimated 100 pounds of vegetation daily to sustain itself. Fossilized trackways suggest that sauropods like Argentinosaurus moved in herds, their sheer size offering protection from predators like Giganotosaurus. These theropods, larger than T. rex, relied on speed and cooperative hunting to target juvenile or weakened sauropods. Asia's deserts and forests were equally rich in dinosaur life. Feathered dinosaurs like Velociraptor and Microraptor thrived, their adaptations bridging the gap between terrestrial dinosaurs and modern birds. Fossilized feathers reveal intricate details, including patterns of coloration that hint at behaviors like camouflage and display. The discovery of melanosomes in these fossils has even allowed scientists to reconstruct the iridescent hues of species like Microraptor, painting a vivid picture of a prehistoric world teeming with life and color. Above these landscapes, pterosaurs soared, their wings casting shadows over the dinosaurs below. Quetzalcoatlus, with a wingspan rivaling that of a small airplane, was among the largest flying animals to ever exist. Its lightweight bones and powerful muscles enabled it to glide for long distances, scavenging or hunting small prey along ancient coastlines. Beneath the waves, marine reptiles like Mosasaurus and Plesiosaurus ruled the seas. Mosasaurus, a top predator, was equipped with sharp, conical teeth designed for gripping slippery prey, while Plesiosaurus, with its long neck, specialized in hunting smaller fish in shallow waters. Fossilized remains of these creatures often reveal stomach contents, offering direct evidence of their diets and ecological roles. The end of the Cretaceous brought one of Earth's most dramatic transformations. The asteroid impact that struck the Yucatan Peninsula 66 million years ago unleashed a chain of catastrophic events. Fires, tsunamis, and a nuclear winter, caused by atmospheric debris, led to a mass extinction event that wiped out 75% of all species, including all non-avian dinosaurs. Yet, even in the face of such devastation, life persisted. Birds, the descendants of theropod dinosaurs, adapted to the New World, their small size and diverse diets enabling them to thrive. Mammals, which had lived in the shadow of dinosaurs for millions of years, began to diversify, eventually giving rise to the dominant species of the Cenozoic, humans. Today, the legacy of Earth's dinosaurs is preserved in fossils that continue to inspire wonder and discovery. Advances in technology, from CT scanning to isotopic analysis, allow scientists to unravel the mysteries of these ancient creatures, revealing details about their biology, behavior, and environments. From the vibrant feathers of Microraptor to the social structures of Triceratops, every discovery adds to our understanding of a world that once was. As you drift into relaxation, let your mind wander through the awe-inspiring landscapes of ancient Earth. Picture a herd of Diplodocus moving across a lush valley, their long necks swaying as they graze. Envision a flock of feathered Microraptors gliding between trees, their iridescent plumage shimmering in the sunlight. Feel the ground tremble beneath the steps of a Tyrannosaurus rex, its powerful form a testament to the resilience and creativity of life. Though their time has passed, the story of Earth and its dinosaurs continues to captivate, reminding us of the incredible journey that led to the world we know today. The Earth's journey, intertwined with the rise and fall of its dinosaurs, is one of unrelenting change. The ancient landscapes they roamed, shaped by geological upheavals, volcanic eruptions, and shifting climates, created a dynamic environment where life evolved in astonishing ways. The dinosaurs, as diverse as they were iconic, are only part of the grand narrative of Earth's history, a history that stretches back billions of years to the planet's fiery beginnings. After its formation 4.5 billion years ago, Earth experienced intense geological activity. The young planet, still molten and bombarded by asteroids, gradually cooled, forming a solid crust. This tumultuous environment set the stage for the emergence of oceans and an atmosphere. Volcanic activity released gases that formed the early atmosphere, a toxic mix devoid of oxygen. Water vapor from these eruptions condensed into liquid as the planet cooled, creating the first oceans, vast, primordial basins teeming with the potential for life. Life began in these ancient waters, likely as simple, self-replicating molecules. Over billions of years, these molecules evolved into the first cells, forming the foundation of Earth's biosphere. Fossilized stromatolites, some dating back over 3.5 billion years, are evidence of these early microbial communities. These structures, created by cyanobacteria, played a pivotal role in transforming Earth's atmosphere by producing oxygen through photosynthesis. This great oxidation event paved the way for more complex life forms. As the Paleozoic era unfolded, life diversified in remarkable ways. The Cambrian explosion, a period of rapid evolutionary innovation, saw the emergence of many major animal groups. Trilobites scuttled across ocean floors, brachiopods anchored themselves to seabeds, and the first vertebrates, jawless fish, began to explore the seas. By the Devonian period, plants had colonized land, creating the first forests. These ancient ecosystems were home to insects, amphibians, and the early ancestors of reptiles. The end of the Paleozoic brought the Permian-Triassic extinction, the most severe mass extinction in Earth's history. Over 90% of marine species and 70% of terrestrial species vanished. This catastrophic event, caused by volcanic activity, climate change, and possibly an asteroid impact, reset life on Earth. The stage was set for the Mesozoic era, the age of dinosaurs. During the Triassic, the first dinosaurs appeared. These small, bipedal reptiles were overshadowed by other dominant reptiles, such as the crocodilian-like phytosaurs and the sail-backed synapsids. However, as the Triassic ended with another extinction event, dinosaurs began to rise as the dominant terrestrial vertebrates. The Jurassic period saw the diversification of dinosaurs into a wide array of forms. Sauropods like Diplodocus and Brachiosaurus towered over the landscape. Their immense size both a defense mechanism and an evolutionary adaptation for reaching high vegetation. Their long necks, supported by lightweight, air-filled bones, allowed them to browse treetops that other herbivores couldn't reach. Fossilized footprints and bone beds suggest that these giants moved in herds, their collective presence deterring predators. Among the predators of the Jurassic was Allosaurus, a formidable theropod that hunted sauropods and other herbivores. Its sharp teeth and powerful jaws were perfectly suited for slicing through flesh, while its robust limbs allowed it to grapple with prey. Fossilized remains of Allosaurus reveal signs of injuries and infections, suggesting that life as a predator was fraught with danger. By the Cretaceous, dinosaurs had reached new heights of diversity. In North America, the western interior seaway split the continent, creating coastal plains that supported unique ecosystems. Dinosaurs like Tyrannosaurus rex and Triceratops thrived in these environments. Fossilized trackways show that Triceratops traveled in herds, using their horns and frills for defense and social interaction. Meanwhile, T. rex, with its bone-crushing bite and keen senses, reigned as the apex predator. In South America, the floodplains were dominated by massive sauropods like Argentinosaurus. These titanic dinosaurs required vast amounts of vegetation to sustain their size, grazing on the ferns and conifers that blanketed the landscape. Predators like Giganotosaurus evolved to challenge these giants, their slicing teeth and agile builds enabling them to target young or sick individuals. Asia's deserts and forests provided a starkly different setting. Feathered dinosaurs like Microraptor and Velociraptor roamed these environments, their adaptations bridging the gap between traditional theropods and modern birds. Microraptor, with its 4 feathered limbs, was capable of gliding between trees, while Velociraptor used its sharp claws and keen intelligence to hunt in packs. Fossilized remains of these dinosaurs reveal details of their feathers, including patterns of coloration that suggest behaviors like camouflage and display. Above these landscapes, pterosaurs dominated the skies. Quetzalcoatlus, with its towering height and massive wingspan, was among the largest flying animals ever to exist. Its ability to glide for long distances allowed it to exploit resources across vast territories, scavenging or hunting as opportunities arose. Smaller pterosaurs like Rhamphorhynchus specialized in catching fish, their sharp teeth and aerodynamic bodies perfectly adapted for a life on the wing. The oceans of the Mesozoic were teeming with life. Marine reptiles like Mosasaurus and Ichthyosaurus filled roles similar to modern sharks and dolphins. Mosasaurus, with its powerful tail and sharp teeth, was an apex predator, preying on fish, ammonites, and even other marine reptiles. Fossilized remains of Ichthyosaurus reveal a streamlined body and large eyes, adaptations for hunting in deep, dark waters. The diversity of marine reptiles underscores the richness of Mesozoic oceanic ecosystems. The end of the Cretaceous brought a dramatic close to this era of life. The asteroid impact that created the Chicxulub crater triggered fires, tsunamis, and a prolonged nuclear winter. The resulting collapse of ecosystems led to the extinction of the non-avian dinosaurs, along with many other species. Yet, life persisted. Birds, the direct descendants of theropod dinosaurs, adapted to the New World, their small size and diverse diets enabling them to thrive. Mammals, which had long lived in the shadow of dinosaurs, began to diversify, eventually rising to dominance. Today, the legacy of Earth's dinosaurs is preserved in the fossils they left behind and the birds that continue to soar across our skies. Advances in technology, from CT scanning to molecular analysis, have transformed paleontology, revealing the intricate details of dinosaur biology, behavior, and evolution. From the vibrant feathers of Microraptor to the complex social structures of Triceratops, each discovery adds to the rich tapestry of life that once thrived on this ancient planet. As you reflect on the wonders of Earth's past, imagine the sprawling forests where Brachiosaurus grazed on treetops, their massive forms moving gracefully through the underbrush. Picture a flock of Archaeopteryx fluttering through the canopy, their feathered wings catching the sunlight. Envision a Tyrannosaurus rex roaring across a floodplain, its call echoing through the humid air. Though their time has passed, the story of Earth and its dinosaurs continues to captivate and inspire, a testament to the resilience and creativity of life on this remarkable planet. Earth's story is a testament to the relentless forces of nature that have shaped it, from its fiery beginnings to the emergence of its most iconic inhabitants, the dinosaurs. These creatures, diverse and complex, flourished for over 180 million years, adapting to an ever-changing world. As we continue exploring the prehistoric past, the intricate relationships between Earth's geological processes and the evolution of life become more apparent. During the early Jurassic, as Pangaea began to split, massive rift valleys formed, and new oceans started to appear. This geographical transformation created unique ecosystems that supported a wide variety of life. Dinosaurs, once relatively small and specialized, began to diversify dramatically. The lush forests and expansive floodplains of the Jurassic provided an abundance of food for herbivorous dinosaurs, allowing them to grow to unprecedented sizes. Among the most remarkable of these giants were the sauropods. Diplodocus, a quintessential Jurassic herbivore, exemplifies the evolutionary advantages of size. Stretching up to 90 feet in length, its long neck allowed it to access vegetation far above the ground, while its whip-like tail provided a formidable defense against predators. Fossilized trackways reveal that sauropods often traveled in herds, moving together across ancient landscapes in search of food and water. The predators of the Jurassic were equally impressive. Allosaurus, one of the top predators of its time, was a skilled hunter. With its strong legs, sharp claws, and serrated teeth, Allosaurus was capable of taking down prey much larger than itself. Fossil evidence of healed wounds on sauropod bones suggests that these interactions were frequent and fierce, a constant battle for survival that defined the ecosystem. As the Jurassic transitioned into the Cretaceous, Earth's landscapes underwent further transformation. The breakup of Pangaea accelerated, creating isolated landmasses that drove speciation. This geographic isolation led to the emergence of unique dinosaur species, each adapted to its environment. Flowering plants, or angiosperms, began to dominate terrestrial ecosystems, introducing new food sources that reshaped the diets of herbivorous dinosaurs. In North America, the western interior seaway divided the continent, creating coastal plains and inland seas that supported an extraordinary diversity of life. Dinosaurs like Edmontosaurus and Triceratops thrived in these regions, their fossils revealing details about their social behaviors and adaptations. Edmontosaurus, a hadrosaur or duck-billed dinosaur, was a highly efficient herbivore. Its dental batteries, composed of hundreds of tightly packed teeth, allowed it to grind tough vegetation, while its ability to travel in herds offered protection against predators. Triceratops, with its distinctive horns and frill, was another iconic herbivore of the late Cretaceous. Fossil evidence suggests that these features were used for both defense and display, with scars on their frills indicating battles with rivals or predators like Tyrannosaurus rex. Trackways and nesting sites suggest that Triceratops lived in herds, their social structures providing safety in numbers and facilitating the care of their young. Tyrannosaurus rex, often regarded as the apex predator of the late Cretaceous, was a formidable force in these ecosystems. Its massive skull housed teeth capable of crushing bone, while its strong legs allowed it to cover short distances quickly, making it a deadly ambush predator. Studies of its olfactory bulbs indicate a highly developed sense of smell, enabling it to locate prey or carcasses from great distances. Fossilized bite marks on herbivore bones provide evidence of T. rex scavenging behavior, highlighting its versatility as both a hunter and scavenger. In South America, the landscape was dominated by titanic sauropods like Argentinosaurus. These massive herbivores, some of the largest animals to ever walk the earth, were the primary targets of theropods like Giganotosaurus. These predators, larger than Tyrannosaurus rex, were built for speed and power, using their slicing teeth to inflict fatal wounds. Fossilized trackways and bone beds suggest that Giganotosaurus may have hunted in groups, a strategy that would have been necessary to take down prey of such immense size. As we delve deeper into Earth's vast timeline, it becomes increasingly evident that these ancient processes are still ongoing. The forces that created the ancient supercontinents, triggered mass extinctions, and shaped biodiversity during the Cambrian explosion are the same forces influencing Earth's modern ecosystems, species distributions, and even the fate of humanity. The evolving face of Earth, tectonics, and the birth of modern continents. Tectonic activity has played a defining role in Earth's history, slowly sculpting the planet's surface while driving evolutionary change by isolating populations, altering ocean currents, and shifting climatic zones. During the late Paleozoic, the formation of the supercontinent Pangaea around 335 million years ago united nearly all of Earth's landmasses into a single, massive continent. This vast landmass created enormous deserts at its center due to limited moisture circulation, while the surrounding oceans formed a single global ocean called Panthalassa. The breakup of Pangaea, beginning around 175 million years ago during the Jurassic period, dramatically reshaped global biodiversity. As the supercontinent fragmented into Laurasia and Gondwana, new landmasses formed, creating geographic barriers that promoted speciation and evolutionary divergence. This period saw the rise of highly distinct dinosaur faunas on different continents, such as the massive Argentinosaurus in South America and Spinosaurus in North Africa. Today, Earth's continents continue to drift, shaped by the relentless motion of tectonic plates. The Himalayas, still rising due to the collision of the Indian and Eurasian plates, serve as a modern reminder of these ancient processes. Meanwhile, the Atlantic Ocean continues to widen along the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, a legacy of the breakup of Pangaea. In the distant future, tectonic forces may once again unite Earth's continents into a new supercontinent, often theorized as Pangaea Proxima or Amasia. These slow yet powerful movements remind us that Earth is never static, constantly evolving in deep time. The dance of climate and evolution. Earth's climate has shifted dramatically throughout its history, often shaping the trajectory of evolution and biodiversity. From the frozen expanses of snowball Earth during the Cryogenian period to the tropical greenhouse worlds of the Cretaceous, climatic changes have been both drivers of mass extinction and catalysts for evolutionary innovation. The Cryogenian, snowball Earth, 720 to 635 million years ago. During the Cryogenian period, Earth experienced one of its most extreme ice ages, with glaciers possibly reaching as far as the equator. This snowball Earth scenario was triggered by a combination of reduced greenhouse gases and changing solar radiation patterns. Though life persisted in isolated refugia, such as hydrothermal vents and equatorial ice-free zones, global biodiversity was severely constrained. Yet, this extreme event set the stage for a profound biological revolution. As Earth thawed, the release of trapped carbon dioxide triggered a greenhouse effect, warming the planet and ending the icy grip. The aftermath saw the Ediacaran period and the rise of the first multicellular life forms, such as Dickinsonia and Sprigina, which paved the way for the Cambrian explosion. The Permian extinction and greenhouse warming, 252 million years ago. The most catastrophic climate-driven extinction occurred during the end of the Permian period, wiping out over 90% of marine species and 70% of terrestrial life. Massive volcanic eruptions in Siberia released enormous amounts of carbon dioxide and methane, causing extreme global warming, ocean acidification, and widespread anoxia. This event marked a turning point for life on Earth, as it took millions of years for ecosystems to recover fully. Yet, from this devastation arose the ancestors of dinosaurs, mammals, and the first modern plant lineages that would later shape the Mesozoic and Cenozoic eras. The power of biodiversity rebounds, recovery after extinction events. Despite the catastrophic losses caused by mass extinctions, Earth's history also reveals a profound pattern of resilience and renewal. Life, even when pushed to the brink, has found ways to adapt and diversify, often with astonishing creativity. Post-Cretaceous recovery. The rise of mammals. The Cretaceous Paleogene, KPG, extinction, caused by the Chicxulub impact event 66 million years ago, famously ended the reign of non-avian dinosaurs. However, it also cleared ecological space for the rise of mammals. Small, nocturnal mammals that had coexisted with dinosaurs during the Mesozoic suddenly found themselves in a world free from the dominance of massive reptiles. Over the next several million years, mammals diversified into an extraordinary array of forms. Early placental mammals like Pertungulatum expanded into niches previously occupied by smaller dinosaurs, while larger forms like Androsarchus, a massive predator, emerged during the Eocene. The extinction of the dinosaurs also saw the rise of modern birds, which had evolved from small theropod dinosaurs like Archaeopteryx. These avian survivors adapted to fill the skies, forests, and wetlands, with forms ranging from flightless ratites like ostriches to the soaring raptors of today. The evolution of intelligence. From primates to humans, the evolutionary path leading to modern humans is among the most remarkable stories in Earth's prehistoric past. Our lineage traces back to the Miocene epoch, around 20 million years ago, when early apes like proconsul roamed the forests of Africa. By the late Miocene, the ancestors of great apes and humans had begun to diverge. The emergence of Australopithecus afarensis around 3.5 million years ago marked a critical point in human evolution, as this species displayed bipedal locomotion while still retaining adaptations for tree climbing. The genus Homo emerged approximately 2.5 million years ago with species like Homo habilis, the earliest known toolmaker. Over time, larger-brained species such as Homo erectus spread from Africa to Eurasia, mastering fire and developing early social structures. The final chapter in this evolutionary saga saw the rise of Homo sapiens, modern humans, around 300,000 years ago. The emergence of symbolic art, complex language, and cultural traditions set our species apart, allowing for unprecedented adaptation to diverse environments. Earth's future. A continuation of its prehistoric legacy, the prehistoric history of Earth is not simply a story of the past. It is an ongoing narrative still being written in the landscapes, species, and ecosystems that surround us today. The forces that shaped ancient coral reefs, drove the rise of dinosaurs, and sculpted the Grand Canyon remain active, guiding the future of our planet. However, as we enter the Anthropocene, the power of human activity has introduced a new factor into this ancient equation. Deforestation, biodiversity loss, climate change, and pollution have created conditions reminiscent of the great extinction events of the past. Yet, the fossil record also teaches us that resilience and adaptation are intrinsic to life itself. Understanding Earth's prehistoric past provides not just scientific insight but a moral imperative. By studying the cycles of extinction and renewal, we gain the knowledge needed to protect the planet for future generations. Every fossil, from the trilobites of the Cambrian to the mammoths of the Ice Age, tells a story of survival and transformation, one we must learn from if we are to ensure Earth's continued vitality. Earth's prehistoric story, spanning billions of years, reveals a profound narrative of persistence, adaptation, and constant transformation. It is a tale of fire and ice, of extinction and rebirth, of towering giants and microscopic pioneers, all intertwined in the great web of life. This continuous process, shaped by tectonic movements, climate fluctuations, and evolutionary pressures, has driven the cycles of change that have defined our planet from its earliest moments. The same forces that shaped the continents, sculpted mountain ranges, and ended entire lineages still echo today, guiding the course of life in ways both subtle and monumental. The fossil record, with its vast library of extinct species and ancient ecosystems, serves as a window into the deepest reaches of Earth's history. It reveals worlds both alien and familiar. The ancient shallow seas teeming with trilobites and eurypterids during the Ordovician, the fern-filled forests of the Carboniferous crawling with giant insects, and the Cretaceous plains where titanic sauropods roamed beneath the shadow of apex predators like Tyrannosaurus rex. Yet, these fossilized remains also speak of impermanence, as each thriving era was eventually met with upheaval, whether through volcanic eruptions, asteroid impacts, or climatic shifts that rewrote the rules of survival. Even the rise of the mammals, the lineage that now dominates Earth's surface, was only made possible by the catastrophic end of the age of dinosaurs. Mass extinctions have punctuated the story of life like cosmic resets, moments when entire ecosystems collapsed and the biosphere had to start anew. The end-Permian extinction, often called the Great Dying, obliterated nearly all marine life and vast swathes of terrestrial species, leaving behind a world almost unrecognizable. The Chicxulub asteroid impact, 66 million years ago, eradicated three-quarters of life on Earth, including the non-avian dinosaurs, while allowing small mammals and birds to rise from the ashes. Yet the fossil record also shows that life, however fragile, is extraordinarily resilient. After each extinction event, the planet has rebounded, often with bursts of evolutionary innovation that redefine the structure of global ecosystems. Consider the aftermath of the Permian-Triassic extinction. Though nearly 90% of marine species were lost, it paved the way for the rise of the archosaurs, a group that included the ancestors of crocodiles and dinosaurs. During the subsequent Triassic period, Earth's ecosystems were populated by strange and diverse creatures, from the armored Desmatosuchus to the predatory Postosuchus. The eventual dominance of dinosaurs in the Jurassic and Cretaceous was not a fluke, but the result of evolutionary experimentation and natural selection over millions of years. The same forces of adaptation and extinction continued into the Cenozoic, with the great megafauna of the Ice Age, like the woolly mammoth and Smilodon, ultimately giving way to the rise of humans as a dominant species. Earth's climatic history has also played a critical role in shaping evolution and biodiversity. The Cryogenian period, with its global ice sheets covering much of the planet, was an era so extreme it has been dubbed Snowball Earth. Yet this icy grip was eventually broken, leading to one of the most significant biological events in Earth's history, the Cambrian explosion. In the warm, shallow seas of the Cambrian period, life rapidly diversified, giving rise to complex organisms with specialized body plans, including the first vertebrates and the ancestors of modern arthropods. Climate shifts have repeatedly acted as catalysts for both extinction and evolutionary creativity, from the tropical greenhouse world of the Jurassic to the ice ages of the Quaternary. Tectonic forces have been equally influential in Earth's biological history. The collision and breakup of supercontinents, such as Rodinia, Pangaea, and Gondwana, have shaped biodiversity by isolating populations and creating new ecological niches. The breakup of Pangaea during the Jurassic, for example, created vast shallow seas and isolated landmasses where dinosaur lineages evolved independently, leading to extraordinary diversity in both size and form. Even today, the movement of the continents continues to influence climate and biodiversity, with regions like the Himalayas still rising due to the collision of tectonic plates and the Mid-Atlantic Ridge continuing to expand. The rise of mammals following the Cretaceous extinction is a testament to life's capacity for resilience and innovation. While small, shrew-like mammals had coexisted with dinosaurs for millions of years, their diversification into the vast array of forms we see today began only after the non-avian dinosaurs disappeared. The Cenozoic era, often called the Age of Mammals, saw the evolution of extraordinary creatures like Paraceratherium, the largest land mammal ever known, and the return of massive marine predators such as Basilosaurus. From tiny insectivores to massive herbivores and apex predators, mammals filled ecological roles once dominated by dinosaurs, proving that evolutionary success is not bound to a single lineage but to the capacity to adapt. Yet, no exploration of Earth's prehistory would be complete without examining the evolutionary path that led to modern humans. Our own story, woven into the fabric of Earth's deep history, began not with civilization but in the ancient forests and grasslands of Africa. The earliest hominins, such as Australopithecus afarensis, were upright walking primates whose anatomy reflected a blend of arboreal and terrestrial adaptations. The emergence of Homo habilis, often referred to as the first toolmaker, marked the beginning of a long lineage that would eventually lead to Homo erectus, a species that mastered fire, crafted complex tools, and spread from Africa to distant continents. By the time Homo sapiens appeared around 300,000 years ago, the world was already shaped by countless cycles of extinction and recovery. Our species, born from this deep evolutionary lineage, carried the genetic echoes of ancient primates, early mammals, and even the distant ancestors of fish and amphibians. The migration of early humans out of Africa, the development of symbolic language, and the mastery of agriculture during the Neolithic Revolution were all built upon the foundations laid by Earth's deep biological past. Now, as we stand on the precipice of a new geological epoch, the Anthropocene, it becomes clear that humanity has become a geological force in its own right. The same processes that once shaped Earth's climate and biodiversity through volcanic eruptions and asteroid impacts are now influenced by human activity on a global scale. The burning of fossil fuels, deforestation, and biodiversity loss have altered the carbon cycle, warmed the planet, and triggered what some scientists believe may be the sixth mass extinction. coral reefs, rainforests, and polar ice caps, all shaped by ancient geological processes, now face existential threats driven by human impact. Yet Earth's prehistoric past also offers a powerful message of hope. Life has faced catastrophic upheavals before and has emerged, time and again, transformed yet persistent. The fossil record, from the first cyanobacteria that oxygenated the planet to the dinosaurs that once ruled the land, reveals a story of survival and adaptation against overwhelming odds. Humanity, as part of this ancient lineage, has the capacity not only to influence but to protect and restore the delicate balance of Earth's ecosystems. Imagine the ancient Earth, where colossal sauropods once grazed beneath Jurassic skies, where dragonfly-like Meganeura filled the air above Carboniferous swamps, and where the icy steppes of the Pleistocene echoed with the calls of woolly mammoths. These worlds are not lost. They are embedded in the rock, preserved as whispers from a time when the planet was both alien and familiar. And as Earth continues its ancient dance of creation and transformation, we are reminded that our species is but the latest chapter in a story billions of years in the making, one still unfolding, with the power to shape the next chapter resting in our hands. Earth's prehistoric narrative continues to be a profound testament to the forces that have shaped the planet and the cycles of life that have played out across billions of years. From the fiery formation of Earth during the Hadean Eon to the rise of modern mammals in the Cenozoic, the story is one of constant change, of vast extinctions followed by rebirth, of tectonic shifts altering the planet's face, and of species adapting, evolving, and ultimately fading into the fossil record. Each extinction event, no matter how severe, has been followed by a remarkable renewal of life. The catastrophic Permian-Triassic extinction, often regarded as the most devastating in Earth's history, saw the collapse of nearly all marine ecosystems and vast swathes of terrestrial biodiversity. Yet from this void emerged the ancestors of the dinosaurs, mammals, and reptiles that would dominate the following Mesozoic and Cenozoic eras. Similarly, the asteroid impact that marked the end of the Cretaceous was not the end of life's story but rather the beginning of a new chapter, the rise of birds, mammals, and, ultimately, humans. The resilience of life is evident not only in its capacity to survive mass extinctions, but in its ability to fill the vacated ecological roles with extraordinary evolutionary adaptations. After the devastation of the Great Dying at the end of the Permian, ecosystems rebounded with a surge of new life forms, including the archosaurs that would give rise to the dinosaurs. Similarly, the extinction of the non-avian dinosaurs paved the way for mammals to diversify into an extraordinary range of forms, from the giant Paraceratherium to the vast marine predators like Basilosaurus. Mass extinctions have not only reshaped life but have also left profound marks on Earth's geology. The fossilized remains of ancient reef systems destroyed during the late Devonian extinction can still be found preserved in limestone formations, while the iridium-rich layer that marks the boundary between the Cretaceous and Paleogene periods serves as a permanent scar of the asteroid impact that ended the age of dinosaurs. These geological signatures remind us that even the most catastrophic events leave behind clues that continue to be uncovered by paleontologists today. The role of tectonics in Earth's deep history cannot be understated. The slow drift of continents has not only shaped the geography of the planet, but has profoundly influenced biodiversity by isolating populations and creating new evolutionary pressures. The breakup of Pangaea during the Jurassic and Cretaceous periods created isolated landmasses where species evolved independently, giving rise to the distinct dinosaur faunas of North America, South America, and Africa. This pattern continues today, with species evolving uniquely on isolated islands and continental regions, such as the lemurs of Madagascar and the marsupials of Australia. Even the landscapes we inhabit today are relics of ancient geological processes. The Appalachian Mountains, for instance, are remnants of an ancient collision between North America and Africa during the assembly of Pangaea over 300 million years ago. The Grand Canyon, with its layered strata, reveals nearly 2 billion years of Earth's history, from the ancient Proterozoic basement rocks to the fossil-rich layers of the Paleozoic. The Himalayas, still rising today, were born from the collision of the Indian subcontinent with Eurasia, a process that began 50 million years ago and continues to shape the landscape. The Triassic was also notable for the appearance of the first true mammals, evolving from synapsid ancestors that survived the Permian extinction. Early mammals like Morganeucodon were small, shrew-like creatures that lived in the undergrowth, likely nocturnal to avoid the emerging dinosaur predators. The oceans of the Triassic also experienced a resurgence of life. Marine reptiles like Nothosaurus and Placidus returned to dominate coastal waters, while the first ichthyosaurs, such as Shanosaurus, evolved to become streamlined apex predators. These marine reptiles were among the first to show adaptations for a fully aquatic lifestyle, including live birth and reduced limb structures. By the end of the Triassic, the supercontinent Pangaea began to break apart, setting the stage for even greater evolutionary diversification. The Jurassic period, 201 to 145 million years ago, saw the dinosaurs rise to true global dominance. The breakup of Pangaea created more humid, forested environments where conifers and cycads flourished, providing vast food sources for herbivorous dinosaurs like Diplodocus and Stegosaurus. Sauropods, the colossal long-necked dinosaurs, reached their peak in the Jurassic. Brachiosaurus, Apatosaurus, and Diplodocus exemplified gigantism, with massive bodies adapted to browsing treetops. Their long necks allowed them to exploit high vegetation, while their column-like legs supported their incredible weight. Fossilized trackways suggest they traveled in herds, offering mutual protection against predators. The Jurassic also saw the diversification of theropods, the bipedal carnivorous dinosaurs that would eventually give rise to birds. Allosaurus was a dominant predator of the late Jurassic, equipped with sharp teeth, strong limbs, and binocular vision. Meanwhile, feathered dinosaurs like Archaeopteryx bridged the gap between non-avian dinosaurs and birds, showcasing primitive wings and flight feathers. The Cretaceous period, 145 to 66 million years ago, brought further diversification and specialization. Dinosaurs like Tyrannosaurus rex and Triceratops roamed North America, while the armored Ankylosaurus and the horned Pachyrhinosaurus thrived in Asia and Europe. Flowering plants, or angiosperms, revolutionized terrestrial ecosystems, leading to new forms of herbivory and pollination interactions. Yet, as with the Permian, the Cretaceous would end in catastrophe. The Chicxulub impact event, a massive asteroid collision off the Yucatan Peninsula, triggered wildfires, tsunamis, and a nuclear winter that led to the extinction of nearly all non-avian dinosaurs. However, life persisted. Birds, the only surviving lineage of dinosaurs, adapted and diversified, while mammals seized the opportunity to radiate into new ecological roles. From the fiery birth of Earth to the reign of the dinosaurs and their extinction, our planet's prehistoric history is a saga of destruction and renewal, innovation and adaptation. The fossils beneath our feet are not merely relics of the past. They are windows into worlds long lost, reminders of life's resilience across billions of years. The story of Earth and its prehistoric past continued into the Cenozoic era, the age that followed the extinction of non-avian dinosaurs and brought about the world we recognize today. The Chicxulub impact, occurring approximately 66 million years ago, marked the end of the Cretaceous and the dawn of a new era. Though it wiped out approximately 75% of all species, including the last of the great dinosaurs, life persisted and adapted, reshaping the planet once more. The Cenozoic era, often called the Age of Mammals, began with the Paleocene epoch, 66 to 56 million years ago, a time of gradual recovery and evolutionary experimentation. The Earth's biosphere was deeply scarred by the mass extinction, with ecosystems simplified and biodiversity reduced. Yet, this void allowed new life forms to emerge and flourish. Mammals, once small and largely nocturnal during the Mesozoic, began to diversify rapidly in the Paleocene. Many early mammals, such as Protungulatum, were small, rodent-like creatures that occupied niches vacated by extinct reptiles. These mammals were generalists, capable of feeding on insects, plants, and small vertebrates, which helped them survive in the unstable post-extinction world. The Paleocene landscape was dominated by forests filled with ferns, conifers, and early flowering plants that had survived the extinction event. Insects also rebounded quickly, playing a crucial role in pollination and decomposition. Some of the earliest bats and primates began to appear toward the end of the Paleocene, their adaptations reflecting the return of complex forest ecosystems. By the Eocene epoch, 56 to 34 million years ago, the world had fully recovered from the mass extinction, giving rise to rich and diverse ecosystems. Tropical rainforests spread across much of the globe, supporting a wide array of mammals, birds, and reptiles. Early ungulates, the ancestors of modern hoofed mammals, thrived in these environments, including species like Eohippus, an early horse barely the size of a fox. The Eocene also witnessed the emergence of the first whales. Cetaceans like Pakicetus and Ambulocetus represent a fascinating transition from land to sea. These semi-aquatic mammals still retained functional limbs, but were adapted for a lifestyle that involved hunting in shallow waters. Over millions of years, cetaceans evolved into fully aquatic species, including Basilosaurus, a long-bodied, serpentine whale that dominated Eocene oceans. Climate played a pivotal role in shaping life during the Eocene. The epoch began with the Paleocene thermal maximum, PTM, a rapid spike in global temperatures caused by the release of massive amounts of carbon dioxide and methane into the atmosphere. This warming event triggered widespread extinctions in marine environments, but also facilitated the expansion of tropical ecosystems on land. However, as the Eocene progressed, global temperatures began to cool, eventually leading to the formation of polar ice sheets. The Oligocene epoch, 34 to 23 million years ago, marked a shift toward cooler and drier climates, driven by the continued breakup of Gondwana and the formation of the Antarctic Circumpolar Current, which isolated Antarctica and triggered the growth of permanent ice caps. This cooling event led to significant changes in plant life, with grasslands expanding and forests retreating. The spread of grasslands drove the evolution of grazing mammals. Species like Paraceratherium, the largest land mammal to ever live, thrived in these open habitats. This hornless rhinoceros stood over 16 feet tall at the shoulder and weighed as much as 20 tons. Alongside it were the ancestors of modern horses, antelope, and elephants, all adapted to the challenges of a grass-dominated landscape. The Miocene epoch, 23 to 5.3 million years ago, continued the trend of grassland expansion and mammalian diversification. This period saw the rise of modern mammal groups, including early elephants, giraffes, and large predatory cats. Saber-toothed predators like Smilodon evolved during this time, with massive canine teeth adapted for delivering fatal bites to large prey. In the oceans, the Miocene saw the peak of Carcharocal's megalodon, the largest shark to ever exist. Measuring up to 60 feet long, this massive predator dominated the seas, preying on whales and other large marine mammals. Fossilized teeth of megalodon, some over 7 inches long, provide insights into its powerful bite and apex predator status. The Pliocene epoch, 5.3 to 2.6 million years ago, brought further climatic cooling and the formation of modern ecosystems. The Mediterranean Sea briefly dried up during the Messinian salinity crisis, only to be reflooded when the Strait of Gibraltar reopened. Africa's savannas expanded, setting the stage for one of the most significant evolutionary events, the rise of hominins. The first members of the human lineage, such as Australopithecus afarensis, famously represented by the fossil Lucy, appeared in Africa during the late Pliocene. These bipedal primates displayed both arboreal adaptations and the ability to walk upright, a key evolutionary step toward modern humans. Their ability to exploit a variety of habitats, from forests to grasslands, was instrumental in their survival and eventual expansion. The Quaternary period, 2.6 million years ago to present, marked the onset of repeated glaciations, known as the Ice Ages. Vast ice sheets advanced and retreated across the northern hemisphere, shaping landscapes through glacial erosion and deposition. Mammals adapted to cold climates, such as woolly mammoths and saber-toothed cats, thrived during this period. Their thick fur and large bodies adapted for survival in harsh environments. The genus Homo emerged during the late Quaternary, with species like Homo habilis, Homo erectus, and ultimately Homo sapiens. Our species, Homo sapiens, first appeared in Africa around 300,000 years ago, marked by increased brain size, tool use, and cultural complexity. Early humans spread across the globe, adapting to diverse climates and developing agriculture, which led to the rise of civilizations. Today, the legacy of Earth's prehistoric past is woven into the fabric of our world. The continents continue to drift, shaped by the same tectonic forces that once created supercontinents like Pangaea and Gondwana. Modern plants, animals, and entire ecosystems are direct descendants of the ancient life forms that once thrived during the Paleozoic, Mesozoic, and Cenozoic eras. Fossils, those ancient whispers from Earth's deep history, remind us of the resilience of life. The dinosaurs may be long gone, but their story persists in the birds that fill our skies. The mammoth and saber-toothed cat may have vanished, but their genetic legacy echoes in the elephants and big cats of today. Each layer of rock and each fossilized bone is a chapter in the ongoing epic of life on Earth, a story of evolution, adaptation, and transformation that continues to unfold. The story of Earth and its prehistoric past continues to reveal the profound cycles of creation, transformation, and extinction that have shaped the planet's landscapes and life forms over billions of years. From the molten infancy of the Hadean Aeon to the great dinosaur reign of the Mesozoic and the rise of modern mammals in the Cenozoic, each chapter builds upon the last, forging a tapestry of life shaped by geological forces and evolutionary innovation. As the Quaternary period progressed, Earth entered a dynamic climatic phase characterized by repeated glaciations, commonly known as the Ice Ages. These cycles, driven by shifts in Earth's orbit and axial tilt, Milankovitch cycles, profoundly impacted global ecosystems. Vast ice sheets advanced and retreated across the northern hemisphere, reshaping landscapes through glacial erosion and deposition. During glacial maxima, ice covered much of North America, Europe, and Asia. Towering glaciers scoured valleys, carved out fjords, and created dramatic features like the Great Lakes. The immense weight of the ice compressed the Earth's crust, and as the glaciers retreated, the land rebounded, a process still ongoing today in regions like Scandinavia and Canada. The ecosystems of the Quaternary were shaped by these glacial cycles. Megafauna, or large Ice Age mammals, thrived during this period, evolving remarkable adaptations for the harsh climates. Woolly mammoths, Mammuthus primigenius, with their thick fur, massive tusks, and humped backs filled with fat reserves, roamed the frozen steppes of Eurasia and North America. Their close relatives, the mastodons, were similarly adapted to colder environments but preferred more forested habitats. Among the predators of this icy world was the formidable saber-toothed cat, Smilodon fatalis, known for its massive canines, which it likely used for precision killing of large prey like bison and ground sloths. Meanwhile, the massive short-faced bear, Arctodus simus, was one of the largest terrestrial carnivores ever to exist, towering over modern bears and capable of reaching speeds estimated to exceed 30 miles per hour. The Pleistocene epoch, spanning from about 2.6 million to 11,700 years ago, also witnessed the emergence and global expansion of Homo sapiens. Early humans originated in Africa, with fossil evidence suggesting a lineage that includes species like Homo habilis, Homo erectus, and Homo heidelbergensis. These hominins developed increasingly complex tools, social structures, and symbolic behaviors over time, culminating in the rise of anatomically modern humans. Homo sapiens migrated out of Africa roughly 70,000 years ago during a period of climatic stability. As they spread across the globe, they encountered and sometimes interbred with other hominin species, such as the Neanderthals, Homo neanderthalensis, in Europe and the Denisovans in Asia. Genetic evidence reveals that modern humans still carry traces of Neanderthal and Denisovan DNA, a testament to this ancient intermingling. The late Quaternary also saw the extinction of many megafauna species, including the woolly mammoth, saber-toothed cats, and giant ground sloths. The causes of these extinctions remain debated, with hypotheses ranging from overhunting by early humans to climate-driven habitat loss. Regardless of the cause, the loss of these giants marked a profound shift in global biodiversity, signaling the end of the Pleistocene and the beginning of the Holocene. The Holocene epoch, which began approximately 11,700 years ago, ushered in a period of climatic stability following the last glacial retreat. This stability allowed for the development of agriculture, the rise of human civilizations, and the transformation of ecosystems by human activity. The domestication of plants and animals, such as wheat, barley, cattle, and sheep, enabled humans to shift from hunter-gatherer lifestyles to settled communities. The Fertile Crescent, in the Middle East, was among the first regions where agriculture took root, leading to the rise of early civilizations like Sumer and Babylon. Simultaneously, independent agricultural developments occurred in the Indus Valley, China, Mesoamerica, and the Andes. With agriculture came surplus food production, population growth, and the development of social hierarchies, written language, and complex trade networks. Yet, even in this age of human dominance, Earth continued its geological and climatic transformations. The formation of the Sahara Desert, once a lush grassland, was driven by shifts in monsoonal patterns. The rise and fall of ice sheets influenced sea levels, submerging ancient land bridges like Beringia, which once connected Asia and North America. The cycles of climate and tectonics that shaped Earth's prehistoric past were still at play, even as human activity began to alter the planet's systems on a global scale. The Anthropocene, a proposed epoch recognizing humanity's profound impact on Earth's geology and ecosystems, is defined by these modern transformations. From the Industrial Revolution's release of greenhouse gases to widespread deforestation, mass extinction events, and plastic pollution, the human footprint has become as significant as the asteroid impact that ended the reign of the dinosaurs. Yet, the lessons of Earth's prehistoric past remind us that life is resilient, adaptable, and deeply interconnected. The cycles of extinction and rebirth that have shaped our world for billions of years are woven into the very fabric of our planet's history. From the ancient cyanobacteria that first oxygenated the atmosphere to the colossal dinosaurs that once ruled the land, each epoch tells a story of transformation, survival, and the ever-present forces of evolution. Even today, we live with the legacies of Earth's prehistoric world. The limestone used in our buildings formed from ancient coral reefs. The coal and oil that fuel modern civilization are remnants of vast carboniferous forests. The birds that fill our skies are the living descendants of theropod dinosaurs. Every breath of oxygen we take is a gift from ancient photosynthesizers that first transformed our atmosphere billions of years ago. As you imagine Earth's prehistoric past, picture the vast Permian deserts, where synapsids roamed under a sunburnt sky. Envision the tropical Jurassic forests filled with the calls of Archaeopteryx, the swaying tails of Diplodocus, and the towering majesty of Brachiosaurus. Hear the deep bellows of woolly mammoths echoing across icy steppes, where early humans huddled around fires, crafting tools to survive in a changing world. The story of Earth is far from over. It continues to unfold, shaped by the same geological forces and evolutionary dynamics that define the prehistoric past. And just as the ancient worlds of the past shaped the present, so too will our actions determine the future chapters of this grand narrative. A reminder that we are part of a story billions of years in the making. The story of Earth's prehistoric past spans a staggering 4.5 billion years of transformation, an odyssey of fire, ice, life, and extinction. As we continue to explore this vast narrative, the profound connections between ancient geological events, evolutionary milestones, and the present-day biosphere become clearer. From the boiling chaos of Earth's molten infancy to the flourishing complexity of the Quaternary, our planet's history is a continuous thread of adaptation and renewal. The deep past reveals a dynamic planet shaped by tectonic forces that continue to this day. The ancient supercontinents, Rodinia, Gondwana, and Pangaea, were not static but ever-shifting, driven by the relentless motion of plate tectonics. Long before Pangaea's existence, the supercontinent Rodinia assembled around 1.1 billion years ago during the Neoproterozoic era, its formation linked with the rise of Earth's first multicellular life. This immense landmass would eventually break apart, triggering climatic shifts and the global glaciation events known as Snowball Earth. The Cryogenian period, 720 to 635 million years ago, was among the most extreme ice ages in Earth's history. Entire oceans may have been locked beneath thick ice sheets, with only pockets of open water near hydrothermal vents sustaining life. Yet, even in this frozen state, life persisted. Photosynthetic microorganisms, and extremophiles clung to survival in the depths of these ice-covered seas, setting the stage for the biological revolution to come. With the thawing of snowball Earth, the Ediacaran period, 635 to 541 million years ago, emerged as a canvas for evolutionary experimentation. This mysterious chapter saw the rise of the first large, complex multicellular organisms. Strange, soft-bodied creatures like Dickinsonia, Sprigina, and Charnia flourished in the shallow seas. These early animals lacked hard skeletons, yet their very existence hinted at the beginning of structural complexity. Fossils from this time offer a glimpse into Earth's earliest attempts at complex life, though their exact relationships to modern species remain debated. Earth's prehistoric past is a grand epic of profound transformations, a narrative woven into the very fabric of the planet's crust, the fossils hidden beneath ancient stone, and the biological echoes that persist in the living world today. Stretching across billions of years, the planet's story reveals cycles of creation, extinction, and renewal on a scale so vast that it humbles human comprehension. Life has emerged, flourished, and been tested by catastrophe time and again. Yet it has always found ways to endure, diversify, and evolve into new forms suited for ever-changing worlds. The power of geological forces continues to shape Earth as they have since the beginning. The shifting of tectonic plates, the rise and fall of supercontinents, and the relentless sculpting of landscapes through erosion, volcanic activity, and glaciation have left indelible marks on the surface of our planet. These processes are not just remnants of the past, but active forces that continue to influence ecosystems, climate, and biodiversity today. The supercontinent cycle has played a pivotal role in Earth's evolutionary history. Pangaea, the last of the great supercontinents, formed approximately 335 million years ago during the late Paleozoic and persisted until its gradual breakup during the Jurassic and Cretaceous periods. Before Pangaea, earlier supercontinents like Rodinia and Gondwana had also shaped the planet's landscapes and evolutionary pathways. The assembly of these vast landmasses often led to the merging of diverse ecosystems, while their fragmentation created isolated evolutionary laboratories where unique species emerged. Consider the remarkable evolutionary divergence that occurred during the breakup of Gondwana in the Mesozoic. As South America, Africa, India, and Australia drifted apart, their faunal lineages evolved independently. In South America, the dominance of theropod dinosaurs led to species like Carnotaurus, a horned predator with powerful legs and tiny arms adapted for a specialized predatory lifestyle. Meanwhile, on the isolated continent of Australia, the evolutionary pressures favored a completely different lineage, mammals with unique reproductive strategies like monotremes and marsupials, including the modern platypus and kangaroo. The fossil record provides extraordinary evidence of how isolation and environmental shifts have driven evolutionary innovation throughout Earth's deep past. The Morrison Formation of the late Jurassic in North America, for instance, preserves an ancient ecosystem where giant sauropods like Diplodocus and Brachiosaurus roamed vast floodplains, while predators like Allosaurus and Torvosaurus stalk their prey. Meanwhile, in the Cretaceous, regions like the Ischian Formation of China have yielded exquisitely preserved fossils of feathered dinosaurs, including Microraptor and Sinornithosaurus, shedding light on the evolutionary transition from non-avian dinosaurs to birds. The Cretaceous Paleogene extinction event, caused by the Chicxulub asteroid impact around 66 million years ago, was one of the most dramatic turning points in Earth's history. The asteroid, estimated to be over 10 kilometers in diameter, struck what is now the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico, unleashing a series of catastrophic events. The impact triggered massive wildfires, global tsunamis, and the release of vast quantities of soot and sulfur aerosols into the atmosphere, blocking sunlight for months or even years. The collapse of photosynthetic food chains led to the extinction of around 75% of all species, including the non-avian dinosaurs, ammonites, and many marine reptiles. Yet even in the wake of such devastation, life persisted. Birds, the only surviving lineage of theropod dinosaurs, adapted and diversified, while small mammals that had survived the catastrophe rapidly radiated into a wide range of ecological roles. The Cenozoic era, beginning in the aftermath of the KPG extinction, was marked by the rise of mammals as dominant terrestrial vertebrates. From the early, shrew-like Pertungulatum to the massive, rhinoceros-like Paraceratherium, mammals expanded into a remarkable diversity of forms. The Eocene epoch, beginning around 56 million years ago, was a particularly transformative period for mammalian evolution. In the wake of the Paleocene thermal maximum, PTM, a rapid global warming event driven by volcanic activity and methane release, tropical ecosystems expanded dramatically. Rainforests stretched as far north as polar regions, and mammals adapted to a warm, humid world filled with dense vegetation. This era saw the rise of the first true primates, such as Notharctus, as well as the early ancestors of whales, like Pakicetus and Ambulocetus, which still retained functional limbs but had begun adapting to a semi-aquatic lifestyle. As the Cenozoic progressed, the gradual cooling of the planet led to profound ecological shifts. The Oligocene epoch, beginning around 34 million years ago, marked the first appearance of Antarctic ice sheets and the expansion of grasslands as forests retreated. This climatic shift favored the evolution of grazing mammals, including early horses like Mesohippus and rhinoceroses adapted to open habitats. Meanwhile, carnivores such as Hyaenodon and Entelodon filled apex predator roles in these evolving ecosystems. The Miocene epoch, beginning around 23 million years ago, saw the continued expansion of grassland ecosystems and the emergence of modern mammal lineages. This period was characterized by the rise of large herbivores like Gomphotherium, an early relative of elephants, and predatory mammals such as Amphibian, the bear dog. The Miocene also marked a critical phase in primate evolution, with species like Proconsul and Dryopithecus representing early branches in the evolutionary tree that would eventually lead to great apes and humans. By the Pleistocene epoch, beginning around 2.6 million years ago, Earth had entered a cycle of repeated glaciations and interglacial periods, what we commonly refer to as the Ice Ages. Vast ice sheets advanced and retreated, carving out valleys, lakes, and other geological features while dramatically influencing global sea levels. Megafauna, such as the woolly mammoth, saber-toothed cat, Smilodon, and giant ground sloth, Megatherium, roamed these icy landscapes, while early humans spread across the globe, adapting to harsh environments through tool use, fire, and complex social structures. The evolutionary path of humans, part of the hominin lineage, was shaped profoundly by environmental pressures during the Pliocene and Pleistocene epochs. The appearance of Australopithecus afarensis, including the famous Lucy fossil, marked a significant step toward bipedal locomotion, while the genus Homo emerged with species like Homo habilis and Homo erectus. These early human ancestors developed stone tools, controlled fire, and eventually spread beyond Africa, reaching Eurasia and beyond. Modern humans, Homo sapiens, first appeared around 300,000 years ago, coexisting with other hominin species like the Neanderthals and Denisovans. The spread of Homo sapiens across the globe, from Africa into Europe, Asia, Australia, and eventually the Americas, marked a profound turning point in Earth's biological history. Our species' ability to manipulate environments, cultivate plants, and develop language and symbolic thought set the stage for the rise of complex civilizations during the Holocene. The Holocene epoch, which began around 11,700 years ago, has been characterized by relative climatic stability compared to the dramatic swings of the Pleistocene. This stability allowed for the development of agriculture and the rise of human societies, from the early settlements of Mesopotamia to the ancient cities of the Indus Valley and Mesoamerica. Yet, as humanity's influence on the planet has grown, so too have the signs of profound ecological imbalance. The burning of fossil fuels, deforestation, and biodiversity loss have led many scientists to propose that we are now entering a new epoch, the Anthropocene. Earth's deep history reminds us that the planet is ever-changing, shaped by cycles of destruction and renewal. It also serves as a powerful reminder of life's resilience and the importance of understanding our role within these ancient patterns. From the first microbes that oxygenated the atmosphere to the dinosaurs that once thundered across primeval landscapes, the story of Earth is one of endurance, adaptation, and the endless capacity for life to transform. Earth's prehistoric narrative continues as a vast and interconnected epic, spanning more than 4.5 billion years of transformation, resilience, and adaptation. This story of a dynamic planet is told in the layers of rock beneath our feet, the fossilized remains of long-extinct species, and the living ecosystems that continue to evolve in response to environmental pressures. It is a tale where tectonic forces, climate cycles, and biological innovation have worked in concert to shape the modern world we know today. As Earth has changed, so too has life, adapting to new challenges and seizing opportunities born from both gradual shifts and catastrophic disruptions. Mass extinctions, volcanic eruptions, asteroid impacts, and ice ages have punctuated the planet's history, each time reshaping the biosphere and setting the stage for evolutionary renewal. The fossils left behind are the echoes of ancient worlds, snapshots of once thriving ecosystems and creatures that lived in conditions so different from today that they feel almost otherworldly. The supercontinent cycle, one of the most significant geological forces in Earth's history, provides a framework for understanding how landscapes, climates, and biodiversity have been repeatedly reshaped. Pangaea, the most recent supercontinent, existed from approximately 335 to 175 million years ago and profoundly influenced global biodiversity. Its vast size resulted in extreme climate zones, with arid deserts dominating the interior and lush coastal ecosystems thriving along its edges. The eventual fragmentation of Pangaea into Laurasia and Gondwana created isolated evolutionary theaters where species diverged along separate evolutionary paths, giving rise to the diversity seen in the later stages of the Mesozoic era. The Jurassic and Cretaceous periods offer some of the most vivid examples of how life can flourish in diverse environments shaped by tectonic shifts and climatic fluctuations. The Jurassic, spanning from 201 to 145 million years ago, was a time when vast shallow seas spread across much of the planet, nurturing coral reefs, ammonites, and marine reptiles like ichthyosaurs and plesiosaurs. On land, the colossal sauropods such as Brachiosaurus and Diplodocus roamed vast floodplains, while predators like Allosaurus and Ceratosaurus hunted among the ferns and conifers of primeval forests. The evolutionary arms race between predator and prey during the Mesozoic resulted in some of the most extraordinary adaptations in Earth's history. The development of complex feathers for both insulation and display eventually led to the emergence of flight in theropods like Archaeopteryx, a transitional species that bridges the gap between dinosaurs and modern birds. The discovery of feathered dinosaurs in China's Ishan Formation, such as Microraptor and Sinosauropteryx, further supports the evolutionary link between theropods and avian species, revealing a dynamic period of evolutionary experimentation. The Cretaceous period, which followed the Jurassic, witnessed the further diversification of dinosaurs alongside the rise of flowering plants, or angiosperms. The spread of angiosperms during the mid-Cretaceous reshaped terrestrial ecosystems, creating complex habitats that supported new types of herbivores and pollinators. Dinosaurs like Triceratops, Hadrosaurus, and Ankylosaurus adapted to these new environments, while apex predators such as Tyrannosaurus rex and Giganotosaurus became some of the most formidable carnivores to ever walk the Earth. Yet, the biodiversity of the Cretaceous was abruptly ended by the Chicxulub impact, a catastrophic event that reshaped Earth's biosphere permanently. The asteroid, estimated to be around 10 kilometers in diameter, struck the shallow seas of what is now the Yucatan Peninsula, triggering global firestorms, tsunamis, and a prolonged period of darkness caused by atmospheric debris. Photosynthesis collapsed, leading to the extinction of the non-avian dinosaurs, along with a vast array of marine life, including the ammonites and marine reptiles that had dominated the oceans for millions of years. However, the extinction of the dinosaurs did not mark the end of life's story, but rather the beginning of a new chapter, the rise of mammals. The Cenozoic era, which began in the aftermath of the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction, saw mammals expanding into every available ecological niche. Small, nocturnal mammals that had coexisted with dinosaurs suddenly found themselves in a world with open space and abundant resources. Within a few million years, mammals diversified into an extraordinary array of forms, from early herbivores like Coryphodon to the massive Paraceratherium, the largest land mammal ever known. The Eocene epoch, around 56 to 34 million years ago, was marked by global warmth and lush tropical forests that extended even into polar regions. This climate fostered the rise of new mammalian groups, including the ancestors of modern horses, whales, and elephants. Basilosaurus, a fully aquatic whale with remnants of hind limbs, marked a critical step in the evolutionary transition from land-dwelling mammals to the cetaceans of today. However, Earth's climate was not static. The Oligocene epoch, beginning around 34 million years ago, saw the onset of significant global cooling. The formation of the Antarctic ice sheets, driven by the opening of the Drake Passage between South America and Antarctica, altered ocean currents and triggered the spread of grasslands. This shift favored the evolution of grazing mammals like the ancestors of modern antelope, bison, and horses, while predators such as the bear-like amphibian adapted to life in open environments. The Miocene epoch, spanning from 23 to 5 million years ago, continued the trend of grassland expansion and saw the emergence of many modern mammalian groups. Early elephants like Gomphitherium and massive predators like Barborophelus, a saber-toothed carnivore, roamed the Miocene plains, while the ancestors of modern apes, including Proconsul, flourished in the shrinking tropical forests. By the time the Pleistocene epoch arrived, Earth had entered a cycle of dramatic climatic oscillations known as the Ice Ages. These repeated glaciations, driven by variations in Earth's orbit and axial tilt, Milankovitch cycles, shaped the landscapes we see today, carving out valleys, fjords, and lakes while influencing global sea levels. Megafauna such as the woolly mammoth, giant ground sloth, and saber-toothed cat thrived during these glacial cycles, adapting to the harsh conditions of the Ice Age steppes. Yet, the Pleistocene was not just the age of megafauna, it was also the age of early humans. The genus Homo had emerged in Africa during the Pliocene epoch, with species like Homo habilis developing stone tools and Homo erectus mastering fire. By the time of the Pleistocene, modern humans, Homo sapiens, had appeared, spreading from Africa across the globe. The development of symbolic thought, language, and art, evidenced by cave paintings and early carvings, marked a profound shift in human evolution, setting the stage for the rise of civilizations during the Holocene epoch. The Holocene, which began around 11,700 years ago, has been a period of climatic stability compared to the extreme fluctuations of the Pleistocene. This relative stability allowed for the development of agriculture, the rise of permanent settlements, and the emergence of complex societies across the world. Yet, even as human civilizations have flourished, the ancient forces that shaped Earth's prehistory remain active. Tectonic plates continue to shift, glaciers continue to retreat, and species continue to evolve in response to environmental pressures. Earth's prehistoric past is a reminder of both the fragility and resilience of life. It teaches us that while species and ecosystems can endure immense challenges, they are not immune to extinction when environmental pressures become overwhelming. The fossil record, with its stories of ancient forests, long-lost oceans, and colossal creatures, reveals a planet constantly in flux, a dynamic, ever-changing world where the forces of nature have sculpted life for billions of years. Earth's prehistoric past remains an awe-inspiring epic of transformation, a saga spanning billions of years where continents shifted, oceans formed and disappeared, and life adapted, diversified, and occasionally faced near total extinction. The unrelenting geological forces beneath the planet's crust, the oscillations of climate, and the remarkable resilience of life have together sculpted a world of extraordinary complexity. From the microbial origins of life in ancient oceans to the rise of massive dinosaurs and, eventually, the ascent of modern humans, Earth's history is one of constant change. This narrative of life on Earth is intimately linked to the cycles of extinction and renewal. Mass extinction events have served as both the great disruptors and catalysts for evolutionary innovation. Each mass extinction, whether triggered by asteroid impacts, volcanic activity, or climate shifts, has reset the evolutionary landscape, clearing ecological niches and setting the stage for the next wave of biodiversity. The end-Permian extinction, often referred to as the Great Dying, was the most catastrophic event in Earth's history. Approximately 252 million years ago, a series of massive volcanic eruptions in the Siberian Traps unleashed a flood of basaltic lava, covering an area roughly the size of modern-day Canada. These eruptions released vast quantities of carbon dioxide and methane into the atmosphere, triggering a cascade of global climate disruptions. The oceans turned acidic, oxygen levels plummeted, and temperatures soared. Over 90% of marine species perished, including entire groups such as the trilobites, while land ecosystems also collapsed, wiping out ancient synapsids like Gorgonops and Inostrancevia. Yet, life endured. In the aftermath of the Great Dying, the Triassic period emerged as a time of recovery and experimentation. Archosaurs, the ancestors of both crocodilians and dinosaurs, began to diversify, while early mammal relatives like Lystrosaurus persisted as some of the few survivors of the catastrophe. The Triassic was a critical evolutionary testing ground, leading to the rise of the dinosaurs, which would go on to dominate Earth for the next 160 million years. The Jurassic period, beginning around 201 million years ago, marked the true golden age of the dinosaurs. With the breakup of Pangaea accelerating, the continents began to drift into the configurations we recognize today. Vast shallow seas covered much of the planet, creating lush floodplains and coastal habitats where dinosaurs thrived. Colossal herbivores like Brachiosaurus and Diplodocus towered above the conifer forests, while fierce carnivores like Allosaurus and Ceratosaurus patrolled the ancient landscapes in search of prey. Human evolution, too, is deeply intertwined with this dynamic history. The ancestors of modern humans, the hominins, first emerged in Africa around 6 million years ago with species like Sahelanthropus cadensis. Over millions of years, hominins adapted to bipedal locomotion, evolving larger brains and more complex social structures. Australopithecus afarensis, famously represented by the fossil Lucy, exhibited both tree-climbing adaptations and the ability to walk upright. This evolutionary path eventually led to the emergence of Homo habilis, the first known toolmaker, and later to Homo erectus, a species capable of harnessing fire and expanding into Europe and Asia. By the time Homo sapiens appeared around 300,000 years ago, Earth's ecosystems were already deeply shaped by both ancient climatic cycles and the consequences of earlier mass extinctions. The ice ages of the Pleistocene, driven by variations in Earth's orbit and axial tilt, saw vast glaciers cover much of the northern hemisphere. These climatic fluctuations influenced both human migration patterns and the evolution of megafauna like the woolly mammoth, giant ground sloth, and saber-toothed cat. Now, as we stand in the present day, Earth continues to evolve. The Holocene, beginning around 11,700 years ago, has been marked by climatic stability, allowing human civilizations to rise, flourish, and reshape the planet in ways no species has before. Yet the same ancient forces, tectonics, climate shifts, and evolutionary pressures, are still at work, reminding us that we are part of a vast and ancient narrative that began long before the first humans walked the Earth. The lessons of Earth's prehistoric past, preserved in the rocks and fossils beneath our feet, offer both warnings and wisdom. They reveal the fragility of ecosystems in the face of rapid environmental change, while celebrating the resilience of life across billions of years. Understanding these ancient rhythms not only deepens our connection to the natural world, but also empowers us to shape a future where the story of life continues to unfold in all its breathtaking complexity. Earth's prehistoric past continues to unravel as a story of cycles, great upheavals followed by remarkable recoveries, ancient worlds lost to time yet preserved in stone, each layer of rock telling a deeper part of the planet's history. From the fiery birth of the Earth through the age of the dinosaurs to the rise of mammals and humans, the planet has been shaped by profound geological forces, climate shifts, and the relentless march of evolution. Throughout deep time, Earth's surface has never remained static. The shifting of tectonic plates, driven by the churning of the mantle below, has torn continents apart and fused them together countless times, altering the face of the planet and the course of life. Ancient supercontinents like Rodinia and Pangaea were once vast landmasses that brought together nearly all Earth's continents into singular geological giants. Pangaea's formation during the late Paleozoic dramatically influenced global biodiversity, leading to the spread of similar species across what is now far-flung regions. When it began to break apart during the Mesozoic, the isolation of landmasses created evolutionary pressures that gave rise to unique faunas on each continent, a pattern still visible today in places like Australia and South America. The breakup of Pangaea also shaped ocean currents and global climate. As continents drifted apart, shallow seas formed, creating rich marine environments that fostered biodiversity explosions. The Tethys Ocean, for example, which stretched across what is now the Mediterranean region, was once teeming with ancient marine reptiles, ammonites, and early fish species during the Mesozoic era. The gradual closure of the Tethys through tectonic shifts contributed to climatic changes that influenced biodiversity and even mass extinctions. Mass extinctions have repeatedly punctuated Earth's history, serving as reset points for life on the planet. Each mass extinction event, while catastrophic, has ultimately paved the way for new forms of life to emerge and diversify. The 5 most significant mass extinctions, each leaving a profound mark on the fossil record, were the Ordovician-Silurian extinction, the late Devonian extinction, the Permian-Triassic extinction, the Triassic-Jurassic extinction, and the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction. Each of these events had unique causes, from massive volcanic eruptions to asteroid impacts and climatic shifts, yet the pattern of destruction followed by renewal remains constant. The Permian-Triassic extinction, around 252 million years ago, remains the most severe extinction event ever recorded, wiping out an estimated 96% of all marine species and 70% of terrestrial vertebrates. Triggered by massive volcanic activity in the Siberian traps, the event released enormous quantities of carbon dioxide, leading to runaway greenhouse effects, ocean acidification, and widespread anoxia. Entire groups of organisms, such as the trilobites, which had thrived since the Cambrian explosion, vanished from the fossil record. Yet, from this devastation emerged the ancestors of the dinosaurs, mammals, and modern reptiles, demonstrating the capacity of life to adapt and flourish even after near-total collapse. The Triassic period that followed was a time of recovery and innovation. Early archosaurs, the ancestors of both crocodilians and dinosaurs, diversified into a variety of ecological roles. Small bipedal dinosaurs like Coelophysis and Herrerasaurus appeared during this time, along with the ancestors of pterosaurs, the first vertebrates to achieve powered flight. Mammal-like reptiles, such as Lystrosaurus, also thrived during this period, showcasing the evolutionary experimentation that often follows mass extinction events. The Jurassic period, beginning around 201 million years ago, marked the full dominance of the dinosaurs as Earth's primary terrestrial vertebrates. The breakup of Pangaea continued, creating vast rift valleys and shallow seas that fostered rich ecosystems. The colossal sauropods like Apatosaurus, Diplodocus, and Brachiosaurus towered over the landscape, while apex predators like Allosaurus and Ceratosaurus hunted their massive prey. The Jurassic was also notable for the rise of the first true birds, such as Archaeopteryx, a small feathered dinosaur that displayed both avian and reptilian traits. In the oceans, ichthyosaurs and plesiosaurs reigned supreme, while ammonites and belemnites, spiral-shelled and torpedo-shaped cephalopods, flourished in the marine food chain. Coral reefs, composed not of modern corals but of extinct groups like the rudists, thrived in warm, shallow waters. The skies were filled with pterosaurs, ranging from small insect-eating species to massive flyers like Pteranodon, with wingspans exceeding 20 feet. The Cretaceous period, spanning from 145 to 66 million years ago, was the final chapter of the age of dinosaurs and one of the most biodiverse eras in Earth's history. Flowering plants, angiosperms, emerged and spread rapidly, transforming terrestrial ecosystems by creating new food sources for herbivores and establishing coevolutionary relationships with pollinators like insects. Dinosaurs continued to diversify, with well-known species like Tyrannosaurus rex, Triceratops, and Spinosaurus dominating different regions. Meanwhile, birds continued to evolve, refining their adaptations for flight while retaining many dinosaurian traits. The Cretaceous ended with one of the most infamous extinction events in Earth's history, the Chicxulub impact. This colossal asteroid strike off the coast of modern-day Mexico unleashed unimaginable destruction, triggering massive wildfires, tsunamis, and a prolonged impact winter caused by debris blocking out sunlight. Photosynthesis collapsed, leading to the extinction of nearly all non-avian dinosaurs, along with marine reptiles like mosasaurs and plesiosaurs. However, birds, small mammals, and a range of plant species managed to survive, setting the stage for the rise of the mammals during the Cenozoic. The Cenozoic era, beginning 66 million years ago, has often been called the Age of Mammals, but it was also a time of profound climate shifts and continued biodiversity evolution. Mammals, no longer constrained by the dominance of dinosaurs, rapidly diversified. The early Paleocene saw small, shrew-like mammals evolving into a vast array of forms, from massive herbivores like Uintatherium to early primates like Purgatorius. By the Eocene, mammals had expanded into nearly every ecological niche, with early whales like Basilosaurus dominating the seas and the first modern mammal orders, including rodents and carnivores, appearing on land. The development of grasslands during the Miocene transformed global ecosystems once again, giving rise to large grazing mammals like horses, antelope, and rhinoceroses while also supporting apex predators such as the saber-toothed cat Smilodon. Meanwhile, primates continued their evolutionary journey, with species like Proconsul and Australopithecus afarensis displaying increasing brain size and bipedal locomotion, ultimately leading to the emergence of Homo sapiens around 300,000 years ago. Earth's deep history reveals a fundamental truth. Life is remarkably resilient, capable of withstanding even the most catastrophic disruptions. Yet, the fossil record also offers stark warnings about the consequences of ecological imbalance and rapid environmental change. Today, as the Holocene epoch transitions into what some scientists are calling the Anthropocene, the parallels to past mass extinctions have become increasingly clear. Climate change driven by human activity, biodiversity loss, and habitat destruction mirror the environmental disruptions that have accompanied every major extinction event in Earth's history. However, the lessons of Earth's prehistoric past also offer hope. Life has faced unimaginable challenges and rebounded time and again. Coral reefs once decimated by ocean acidification have recovered, forests have regrown after volcanic winters, and entire evolutionary lineages have risen from the ashes of extinction. By studying Earth's deep history, we gain not only a greater understanding of our world's ancient cycles, but also the knowledge needed to protect its future. Earth's story is not simply a tale of destruction. It is a saga of transformation, endurance, and constant renewal. It reminds us that while change is inevitable, so too is the persistence of life. The fossils beneath our feet are more than relics. They are testaments to a planet where life, in all its complexity, has flourished for billions of years, and will continue to do so, long after we are gone. Earth's prehistoric past reveals a dynamic world, where continents have shifted, climates have fluctuated, and life has repeatedly adapted, evolved, and endured in the face of unimaginable challenges. Across the expanse of deep time, from the fiery Hadean to the modern Holocene, the planet has experienced profound transformations that have defined its landscapes, shaped its ecosystems, and given rise to the incredible diversity of life we see today. Yet even as life has flourished, Earth's history has been punctuated by cataclysmic events, mass extinctions, global climate shifts, and geological upheavals that have repeatedly reshaped the course of evolution. Among the most significant drivers of change throughout Earth's history have been the powerful forces of plate tectonics. The constant movement of Earth's lithospheric plates not only redefined the face of the planet, but also influenced biodiversity by creating new barriers, opening migration corridors, and altering oceanic currents that regulated climate. The assembly and breakup of supercontinents like Rodinia, Pangaea, and Gondwana have left an indelible mark on Earth's evolutionary history, triggering both biological diversification and mass extinctions as ecosystems were disrupted and reconfigured. The ancient supercontinent Rodinia, which existed over a billion years ago during the Neoproterozoic, played a critical role in Earth's climate history. Its breakup around 750 million years ago coincided with the onset of the Cryogenian glaciations, often referred to as snowball Earth events. During these extreme ice ages, much of the planet was likely covered in vast ice sheets, with life restricted to small refugia beneath the ice or near hydrothermal vents. Yet, this period of extreme climatic stress was followed by the rise of multicellular life in the Ediacaran period, suggesting that even the harshest conditions can be followed by evolutionary innovation. The breakup of Pangaea during the Mesozoic dramatically reshaped the biosphere as continents drifted apart, isolating species and driving divergent evolutionary paths. Dinosaurs in North America, such as Tyrannosaurus rex, were distinctly different from those evolving in South America, where Carnotaurus thrived, or in Africa, home to Spinosaurus. The gradual opening of the Atlantic Ocean during the Jurassic and Cretaceous periods separated marine populations, driving the diversification of species like ammonites, belemnites, and early sharks. The interplay between geological forces and life is evident in the fossil record, where entire ecosystems have been preserved in extraordinary detail. The Burgess Shale, dating back to the Cambrian period, offers a rare glimpse into the diversity of early multicellular life, with creatures like Anomalocaris and Hallucigenia showcasing the experimental body plans that emerged during this critical evolutionary phase. Similarly, the Solnhofen limestone deposits of the Jurassic have preserved delicate fossils of both marine life and early avian dinosaurs like Archaeopteryx, bridging the gap between reptiles and modern birds. Mass extinctions have repeatedly shaped the trajectory of life on Earth, each event wiping out vast numbers of species while creating opportunities for new life forms to rise. The late Devonian extinction, occurring around 359 million years ago, was marked by a series of environmental changes, including oceanic anoxia, a depletion of oxygen in the seas, and global cooling. Coral reef systems collapsed, while many jawless fish and early vertebrate groups were lost. Yet, this event paved the way for the rise of tetrapods, the first vertebrates to fully transition onto land. The Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction, perhaps the most famous of all, not only ended the reign of the non-avian dinosaurs, but also triggered the rapid diversification of mammals. The asteroid impact that marked the end of the Mesozoic created global firestorms, tsunamis, and an extended impact winter that decimated plant life and food chains. However, small, adaptable mammals that had lived in the shadows of dinosaurs seized the opportunity, rapidly evolving into a diverse array of species ranging from early primates and ungulates to the ancestors of modern elephants, whales, and carnivores. The Cenozoic era, beginning 66 million years ago, has been a period of remarkable biodiversity expansion and climatic transformation. The Paleocene epoch, immediately following the extinction event, saw the emergence of small, generalized mammals that gradually diversified into larger and more specialized forms. Early primates like Plesiodopus navigated the canopies of ancient forests, while primitive hoofed mammals called condylarths gave rise to later herbivores like horses and rhinoceroses. By the Eocene epoch, global temperatures had risen dramatically, creating a lush, tropical world where dense rainforests extended to high latitudes. The Eocene was also a period of evolutionary experimentation, with the emergence of the first fully aquatic whales like Basilosaurus, as well as early bats and proboscideans, elephants. This era's high temperatures and expansive forests allowed for the diversification of mammals into new ecological roles, yet the climatic stability was not permanent. The transition into the Oligocene epoch, around 34 million years ago, marked a significant cooling event driven in part by the formation of the Antarctic Circumpolar Current. This powerful ocean current, created by the separation of Antarctica from South America, isolated the southern continent and triggered the growth of permanent ice sheets. As global temperatures dropped, vast grasslands began to spread, leading to the rise of grazing mammals like early horses, antelope, and rhinoceroses. The Miocene epoch, beginning around 23 million years ago, was a time of continued grassland expansion and mammalian diversification. Some of the largest mammals to ever walk the earth appeared during this time, including Paraceratherium, a hornless rhinoceros that stood over 16 feet tall at the shoulder. Predators like Amphibian, the bear dog, and Barbourofelis, a saber-toothed carnivore, dominated the open plains, while early apes like Proconsul thrived in the shrinking forests. The Pliocene epoch saw the emergence of hominins, our direct ancestors, in the shifting landscapes of East Africa. Species like Australopithecus afarensis, famously represented by the fossil Lucy, walked upright while retaining adaptations for tree climbing. This critical phase in human evolution, driven by climatic changes that created a mosaic of forest and savanna habitats, set the stage for the eventual rise of the genus Homo. By the time the Quaternary period began around 2.6 million years ago, Earth had entered the dramatic climatic cycles of the ice ages. Glaciers advanced and retreated, carving vast valleys and influencing global sea levels. During this period, massive mammals like the woolly mammoth, the giant ground sloth, and the saber-toothed cat roamed the icy landscapes of the Pleistocene. Early humans, including Homo habilis and Homo erectus, developed increasingly complex tools and social structures, gradually spreading out of Africa and into Eurasia. Modern humans, Homo sapiens, emerged around 300,000 years ago, eventually outcompeting other hominin species like the Neanderthals and Denisovans. The transition from hunter-gatherer societies to agricultural civilizations, beginning around 10,000 years ago during the Holocene epoch, marked a pivotal moment in Earth's history as humans began to shape their environments through farming, deforestation, and domestication of plants and animals. Yet even as we shape the planet in profound ways, the lessons of Earth's prehistoric past remain clear. The forces that have sculpted the planet for billions of years, tectonic shifts, climate cycles, and the processes of natural selection, continue to shape our world today. The fossil record stands as a reminder that life has endured cataclysm after cataclysm, adapting and evolving in ways both wondrous and unexpected. It also serves as a warning that unchecked environmental disruptions, whether driven by natural forces or human activity, can lead to profound consequences for biodiversity and the stability of ecosystems. Earth's prehistoric past is more than just ancient history. It is the foundation of the world we live in today, a living narrative written into the landscapes, species, and ecosystems that surround us. As we continue to uncover the secrets of deep time, we gain not only a deeper appreciation for the resilience of life, but also a greater understanding of our responsibility to protect this fragile, ancient world we call home. Yet, the story of Earth's deep history also offers hope. Life is remarkably resilient. After every mass extinction event, from the great dying of the Permian to the asteroid strike of the Cretaceous, life has found a way to adapt, evolve, and diversify. The very plants and animals we see today are the descendants of species that survived these ancient catastrophes, carrying the genetic legacy of billions of years of evolution. The fossil record, with its vast libraries of extinct species and long-lost ecosystems, serves as both a warning and a guide. It reveals the consequences of ecological imbalance while celebrating the incredible creativity of life. Dinosaurs, trilobites, ammonites, and woolly mammoths may be long gone, but their stories remain etched in stone, a reminder that extinction and transformation are natural parts of Earth's narrative. As we move forward in the Anthropocene, understanding the lessons of Earth's prehistoric past is more crucial than ever. We are not separate from nature but deeply embedded in the same evolutionary processes that shaped the ancient forests of the Carboniferous and the coral reefs of the Devonian. By recognizing our place within this grand story, we gain the wisdom to make choices that protect the fragile ecosystems upon which all life depends. Imagine the ancient Earth once more, the molten surface of the Hadean Aeon, where a lifeless world began its slow transformation into a cradle for life. Picture the Cambrian seas, alive with trilobites and strange predators like Anomalocaris. Envision the towering giants of the Jurassic, from the gentle Brachiosaurus to the fearsome Allosaurus. Hear the distant echoes of mammoths across the Pleistocene steppes, where early humans huddled around fires beneath vast, starlit skies. Earth's story is not over. It continues in the whisper of the wind, the crash of ocean waves, and the resilience of life pushing through cracks in ancient stone. The narrative of our planet reminds us not only of Earth's ancient beauty but also of our responsibility to protect it, so that future generations may continue to wonder, explore, and be inspired by the epic tale of life on Earth. The story of Earth is far from finished. As the Holocene epoch unfolds, the planet continues its dynamic dance of creation and transformation, a continuation of the prehistoric cycles of life, death, and rebirth that have shaped the world for billions of years. Yet today, Earth faces a chapter of profound and unprecedented change, one where the influence of a single species, Homo sapiens, has become a geological force in its own right. The Holocene, beginning approximately 11,700 years ago after the last ice age, has been marked by climatic stability compared to the dramatic swings of the Pleistocene glaciations. This relative stability allowed ecosystems to flourish and provided the conditions necessary for human civilization to emerge and thrive. However, beneath this apparent calm, Earth's geological and climatic systems remain in constant flux. The melting of the great glaciers that once covered much of North America, Europe, and Asia during the last glacial maximum reshaped global coastlines, carving the landscapes we know today. The retreating ice sheets left behind massive lakes, like Lake Agassiz and the Great Lakes, and glacial features such as moraines and fjords. Sea levels rose dramatically, submerging ancient land bridges, including Beringia, which once connected Asia to North America, and the Doggerland Plains between Britain and continental Europe. These shifting landscapes also shaped human migration and development. As glaciers retreated, early human populations expanded into newly available territories. The fertile lands revealed by the melting ice fostered the development of agriculture, sparking the Neolithic Revolution around 10,000 years ago. This period saw the domestication of key crops, including wheat, barley, and rice, alongside the taming of animals such as sheep, goats, and cattle. With agriculture came permanent settlements and the rise of early civilizations. The ancient city of Catalhoyuk in Anatolia, dating back over 9,000 years, reveals one of the oldest known examples of urban life, complete with densely packed homes and early forms of symbolic art. Mesopotamia, often called the cradle of civilization, emerged along the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, where the Sumerians developed cuneiform writing and complex irrigation systems to manage the unpredictable flooding of these river valleys. The Holocene also bore witness to the construction of monumental structures like the Great Pyramids of Giza, Stonehenge, and the ziggurats of ancient Sumer, reflecting humanity's growing ability to shape the environment. Yet even as human societies flourished, the natural world continued its slow, relentless evolution. One of the most significant climatic events of the Holocene was the 8.2 kiloyear event, a sudden cooling phase around 8,200 years ago caused by the drainage of the massive glacial Lake Agassiz into the North Atlantic. This freshwater influx disrupted oceanic circulation patterns, leading to a temporary drop in global temperatures. Such climatic shifts, though brief in geological terms, had profound effects on early agricultural societies, highlighting the delicate balance between climate and human prosperity. The Holocene climatic optimum, which followed, was a period of relative warmth between 9,000 and 5,000 years ago. During this time, the Sahara was a fertile grassland dotted with lakes and teeming with life, a stark contrast to its arid state today. Ancient rock art from the region, depicting giraffes, elephants, and even human settlements, provides evidence of this once lush landscape. However, around 5,000 years ago, the Sahara underwent desertification due to gradual climatic changes linked to shifts in Earth's orbit, transforming it into the vast desert we recognize today. As human civilizations expanded, so too did their impact on the environment. Deforestation, driven by the need for farmland and building materials, altered entire ecosystems. The early deforestation of the Mediterranean basin, for example, contributed to soil erosion and the collapse of ancient societies like the Minoans and Mycenaeans. Overgrazing, agricultural mismanagement, and resource exploitation began to reveal the limits of nature's resilience, echoing patterns seen throughout Earth's deep history. The medieval warm period, 900 to 1300 CE, brought another phase of regional climatic change, with warmer temperatures leading to expanded agriculture in Europe and the Norse settlement of Greenland. However, this warm phase was followed by the Little Ice Age, 1300 to 1850 CE, a period of cooler temperatures that brought crop failures, harsh winters, and widespread social upheaval. These climatic shifts, though minor compared to prehistoric ice ages, had profound effects on human history, underscoring how interconnected Earth's climate is with societal stability. Now, in the modern Holocene, a new force has emerged. Human activity itself has become a transformative agent on a planetary scale. The Industrial Revolution, beginning in the 18th century, marked a profound turning point as fossil fuel combustion, deforestation, and large-scale agriculture began to alter Earth's atmosphere. The release of greenhouse gases, primarily carbon dioxide and methane, has accelerated global warming at a rate unmatched in Earth's recent history. The rise of carbon dioxide levels, now exceeding 420 parts per million, higher than at any point in the last 800,000 years, mirrors the conditions seen during past greenhouse events, such as the Paleocene thermal maximum, PTM. During the PTM, rapid carbon release into the atmosphere led to dramatic global warming, ocean acidification, and mass extinctions in marine environments. Today, coral reefs, which first evolved during the Cambrian, face similar threats due to rising ocean temperatures and acidification, highlighting the cyclical nature of planetary change. The deforestation of the Amazon rainforest, the loss of Arctic sea ice, and the bleaching of coral reefs all signal that humanity has entered a new epoch, the Anthropocene. This proposed epoch acknowledges that human activity has become a dominant geological force, reshaping the planet in ways comparable to ancient supervolcanic eruptions or asteroid impacts. Yet, the lessons of Earth's deep past offer both warnings and hope. The cycles of extinction and recovery, seen throughout the fossil record, remind us of nature's resilience. Life rebounded after the Permian-Triassic extinction, the most severe crisis in Earth's history, and again after the asteroid impact that ended the Cretaceous. Each time, evolution flourished anew, with species adapting and ecosystems reforming over millions of years. However, the current biodiversity crisis is unfolding at a rate far faster than previous mass extinctions. The loss of keystone species, deforestation, and climate disruption threaten not only wildlife but the stability of ecosystems essential for human survival. Pollinators like bees, wetlands that filter water, and forests that act as carbon sinks are all part of a vast, interconnected web of life that Earth's prehistoric history has built. Yet humanity stands at a crossroads, with the power to shape the planet's future. Advances in conservation, reforestation, and renewable energy reflect the growing awareness of our responsibility as stewards of Earth. Projects like the rewilding of European landscapes with bison and wolves, and the protection of ancient rainforests, are attempts to restore ecosystems shaped over millions of years. As we reflect on Earth's prehistoric past, from the earliest microbial life to the towering dinosaurs and Ice Age megafauna, we are reminded that the planet's history is not just a chronicle of destruction. It's a testament to the endurance and adaptability of life. The same forces that shaped ancient coral reefs and sculpted the Grand Canyon continue to shape our world today. The Earth we know today is not a static entity but a living, evolving system, where mountains rise and erode, species emerge and vanish, and climates shift. Our place within this story is both ancient and new. We are the product of billions of years of evolution, shaped by the same natural forces that sculpted the trilobites of the Cambrian and the giant ground sloths of the Pleistocene. In understanding Earth's deep time, we gain not only knowledge but wisdom, a recognition of our profound connection to this ancient, dynamic world. As we stand on the edge of an uncertain future, the lessons of the past remind us of our power to protect, preserve, and nurture the fragile web of life that binds us to the Earth across every epoch of time. As Earth's deep prehistoric history unfolds further, we are reminded that the forces shaping our planet today, tectonic shifts, climate cycles, and evolutionary adaptations, are the same ancient processes that have governed life for billions of years. The Earth we know has been forged in cycles of creation, collapse, and renewal, each era shaping the next in a vast continuum of time that stretches back to the very formation of our solar system. Even as we live in the Holocene epoch, it is essential to remember that Earth's geological and biological changes are ongoing. They are not relics of the past but active, living processes still shaping the landscapes, ecosystems, and species we see today. The forces that shaped ancient Earth and continue today at the heart of Earth's evolution lies plate tectonics, a driving force behind the shifting continents, rising mountains, and oceanic transformations that have shaped the planet's surface for over 4 billion years. The supercontinents of Earth's distant past, from Rodinia to Gondwana and Pangaea, illustrate how these massive geological movements have continuously redefined global ecosystems. During the Paleozoic, the assembly and breakup of supercontinents dramatically influenced ocean currents and climate patterns. When Pangaea formed during the late Permian, It created vast deserts in its interior due to limited moisture circulation, contributing to the harsh conditions that preceded the Permian-Triassic mass extinction. As Pangaea broke apart during the Mesozoic, the formation of smaller continents allowed for the development of more isolated ecosystems, fueling the diversification of dinosaurs and early mammals. Today, the same tectonic forces continue to shape our world. The ongoing collision of the Indian and Eurasian plates is slowly but relentlessly uplifting the Himalayas, while the Mid-Atlantic ridge continues to spread, pushing North America and Europe further apart. The Pacific Ring of Fire, a hotspot of tectonic activity, is responsible for frequent earthquakes and volcanic eruptions that continue to reshape the Pacific Rim. The shifting continents have also played a critical role in Earth's climate history. The closure of ancient seaways, such as the Isthmus of Panama around 3 million years ago, altered ocean currents and contributed to the onset of the Pleistocene ice ages. Similarly, the isolation of Antarctica around 34 million years ago triggered the formation of the Antarctic Circumpolar Current, leading to the development of permanent ice sheets and a global cooling trend. Mass extinctions, cycles of catastrophe and renewal throughout Earth's history. Life has been shaped not only by gradual evolutionary processes, but also by catastrophic events. Mass extinctions that have reset the evolutionary clock and paved the way for new life forms. These mass extinctions, though devastating, have also been engines of change, clearing ecological space for evolutionary innovation. The 5 major mass extinctions include the Ordovician-Silurian extinction, 444 million years ago, triggered by a global glaciation event. This extinction wiped out approximately 85% of marine species as ice sheets expanded and sea levels fell. Shallow marine ecosystems were particularly hard hit, with entire groups of trilobites and brachiopods disappearing. The late Devonian extinction, 359 million years ago, likely caused by anoxic events, oxygen depletion in the oceans, and volcanic activity. This extinction event primarily affected marine life, with massive die-offs among coral reefs, armored fish, and ammonites. The loss of these species shifted the balance of marine ecosystems, allowing ray-finned fish to dominate the oceans. The Permian-Triassic extinction, the Great Dying, 252 million years ago, the most severe extinction in Earth's history, wiping out over 90% of marine species and 70% of terrestrial species. Massive volcanic eruptions in Siberia released vast quantities of carbon dioxide and methane, leading to global warming, ocean acidification, and widespread anoxia. Recovery from this event took millions of years and reshaped the planet's biosphere. The Triassic-Jurassic extinction, 201 million years ago. This extinction event, possibly linked to volcanic activity associated with the breakup of Pangaea, led to the decline of many reptile groups and paved the way for the rise of the dinosaurs as dominant terrestrial vertebrates. The Cretaceous-Paleogene, KPG, extinction, 66 million years ago, triggered by the Chicxulub asteroid impact. This event famously ended the reign of the non-avian dinosaurs while allowing mammals and birds to diversify and flourish in the aftermath. Mass extinctions have profoundly shaped life's history, and the resilience of Earth's biosphere is evident in the recoveries that followed. Each extinction event cleared the way for new groups of organisms to thrive, whether it was the rise of mammals after the KPG extinction or the emergence of modern corals following the Devonian crisis. The rise of mammals and the age of mammalian megafauna following the extinction of the dinosaurs, the Cenozoic era became a time of incredible mammalian diversification. No longer living in the shadows of the towering reptilian giants, mammals expanded into every ecological niche imaginable. The Paleocene and Eocene saw the rise of primitive mammals like early primates, rodents, and ungulates, hoofed mammals. By the Miocene epoch, mammals had reached enormous sizes, with species like Paraceratherium, the largest land mammal ever known, standing over 16 feet tall and weighing up to 20 tons. The Pleistocene epoch brought forth the iconic megafauna, woolly mammoths, mastodons, saber-toothed cats, Smilodon, and giant ground sloths like Megatherium. These giants roamed the Ice Age landscapes, coexisting with early human populations. The adaptations seen in these species, such as thick fur and large body size, allowed them to endure the harsh climates of the Pleistocene. Yet, much like the dinosaurs before them, the megafauna too faced extinction. As the Ice Age ended around 12,000 years ago, many of these colossal creatures vanished. The causes remain debated, with theories ranging from climate-driven habitat loss to overhunting by expanding human populations. The emergence of human civilization. A geological force. Modern humans, Homo sapiens, have existed for roughly 300,000 years, a mere blink in Earth's timeline. Yet, in that short span, humanity has become a transformative geological force capable of altering landscapes, driving species extinctions, and changing the planet's atmosphere. The rise of agriculture during the Holocene allowed human populations to grow exponentially. Civilizations like